the jail. Wait, Lex Friedman went on there?
He was on there before. All right, baby.
Are we still on?
We are now recording.
Let's go, baby.
So,
I think
clap
the
or
mic's
snap
on.
in front of your mic and then hold up.
Wait, Luke, you ready?
I don't know why you all decided to sit way so far over there. Calm down, Shire boys.
True. All right. No, scoot in.
Do not acknowledge. Do not
up.
acknowledge the kettle.
So
We're just gonna pretend that
The kettle doesn't
it's like a
exist there.
totally normal part of the
KitchenAid.
podcast.
Not
Okay.
living room.
Well,
how far?
welcome everyone. What?
How far should the mic be from your face?
Like this far.
Rough.
Just
Are we good?
yeah, this is fine. You don't want to be here, and you don't want to be like.
Luke, we should be
So-
right here.
Have it at like a comfortable distance so you can just hold it there. Anyway, hello everyone. Welcome to This Dude Podcast, the best podcast ever recorded in my parents' guest house. I am here with the one and only Luke Turner and the two and semi-rare Asher Dixon.
Okay. Fairly rare.
Fairly rare.
Let's be fair.
Fairly rare. So who are you guys and why should we care?
Luke, you go first.
I'm Luke. I snowboard every once in a while. I'm wearing head socks, which I highly recommend.
Yeah, baby.
Very warm.
Are you like branded? Like do they pay you for that or no?
No, but they should.
They Sponsored
I've been
Luke?
feeling-
You just got a shout out on the best podcast ever recorded in the Crapachette's guest house.
It's true.
Seems like they should be paying you for this.
Yeah, as far as why they should care about me, I really don't have anything that really stands out quite yet. But hopefully,
You're
I do
not doing a
someday.
great job at selling
That's
yourself.
nothing.
Well, that's about it. I work at Red Balloon with Jackson.
Yeah, we
and
all work
Asher.
at Red Balloon. I
Yeah.
I decided I was going to do a podcast, and I was like, who the heck can I get on for my first episode? And I was like, wait a minute.
Just
I have
probably
two people
the
I
two
work with
most
who are kind of
stellar people you
crackheads,
know.
so let's do
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
I'm most excited for the Zambia interviews.
The Zambia
Honestly,
interviews
we
are going to
should
be
do Zoom
sick.
interviews while you're in Zambia. That would
We
be
might do that as
fantastic.
well.
That would be fantastic. Luke,
Yeah.
I will invest.
But
in
you'll
that.
get like updates on like if I'm still alive and if I have huge amounts of diarrhea
Oh gosh!
from
Despite getting
from the
multiple
podcast.
vaccines, I still contracted malaria.
I'm currently recording this in a hospital. I'm here with Doc 1 and Doc 2.
You just got IV tubes running as it. This is Jackson with this dude podcast and.
And then he just flatlines mid podcast.
Someone stop the recording now.
He's just sitting there.
Upload this.
No.
It'd be the best clip ever. Dude
would-
dies on podcast.
I'm
would
curious
go
what you
viral.
have on
I think that'd go viral.
why you're on here and why people.
Oh, yeah,
find
who are you?
interesting.
So I'm Asher Dixon. I think so. I think I'm Asher Dixon. No, why people should care about me. So I wear Dickies socks.
What is with the
And,
sock train? I
and
mean,
wait. I'm not done yet.
All right. Let's
Hey
hear it.
Dude's boots, as seen in the Jalen Hicks, who was a wide receiver, or no, he was not a wide receiver. Excuse me, cut that part out. He's a player at Washington State University, and I saw these on his ad, and now I'm wearing them, and now I'm showing them off. So I should be sponsored too. But anyway, so yeah, I also work at Red Balloon to help run all their social media and online stuff, and I guess my biggest claim to fame is I'm friends with Tim Clark.
Yeah, I think we're well. Some of us claim to be friends with Tim Clark. Some of us are correct.
Okay, now.
Ouch.
I would say I'm very correct.
I would say I'm not. I feel like I'm colleagues with Tim Clark, and that's kind of it.
Tim and I, we've had some deep conversations, man, about like where life's going, what we're, you know.
Tim and I's deepest conversation has been about how deep his daughter's car is stuck in a ditch somewhere. That's the closest we've gotten.
Ouch.
Well, you know, I can.
Well,
go
on
ahead,
the other end
go
of the
ahead.
spectrum, I mean, I'm practically a son of Tim's.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, well, if
Well,
were
you
a
look
son of
very
Tim,
similar.
I'm like,
I'm gonna flash an
Wait,
image of
I'm
Tim
looking
Clark
at
right
Tim.
next to Luke's head at
you
this
should
moment,
put- yeah,
so
yeah,
we
I
can
actually think they look
understand
really
the.
similar.
I don't
think
know.
I think Luke has more facial hair though. I don't see.
I don't think Tim has the capability to grow a beard.
gonna say, I've
He's like an
never-
Asian.
Yeah. He's like- very similar. Very similar. If there's one thing I would say Tim Clark is like, it's an Asian.
Dude,
There's
the
one
thing
thing.
with like, it's very confusing because some Asians, and this is like wildly stereotyping, but some of them have like the best beards I've ever seen.
Oh, fantastic beard.
They're like
yeah.
unreal. I'm like, I wish I could grow a
Like
beard,
volume-
period.
the
But
volume
if I,
goes crazy.
yeah.
Seem like
Volume
Drake's
goes
beard,
crazy.
or like how so?
No, like just the volume, the thickness, the like everything is right about it. And
Yeah.
some of them have like a mole with like 3 hairs coming out. They're like 6 inches long, and it's like, why? Why are you
It's
doing
like,
that?
Yeah, how does that happen to a man? But
Yeah, Luke, is your mic on?
I believe so.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
it looks like
you're
it's
on. You're on.
yeah, I'm on too good.
All right. Well,
That
and
would've been
obviously, not obviously, because this is the first episode. No one knows who the heck I am. I'm Jackson Krapishets, your
Kiddos
host
should
for
know who
this
you are.
ridiculous podcast. Anyway, let's get into it. So, first topic: Chiefs versus the Dolphins is happening
Baby.
on like tomorrow,
Oh,
I think.
baby.
And it's gonna be really cold. I think they said negative 30-degree wind chill.
Yep, negative 30-degree wind chill. I cannot imagine being outside a negative 30
Which
degree
is
wind chill,
disgusting.
let alone trying to throw a piece of leather back and forth and hit people.
True. And like, yeah, you're hitting people, but also we're talking about the Miami Dolphins. Like they spend all their time in like 95-degree perfect weather. And then it's like, how about you go freeze your buns off? And like, I'm not sure if all of them are going to
actually-
make it out.
Yeah,
Isn't that an 100-degree difference for them? Like if you
That's-
factor in wind chill,
I think
there
think
it's,
so.
I was gonna
70
say over
degrees or
100
above
degree,
usually.
Yeah.
over 100-degree difference. I can't imagine just jumping straight from 70 degrees, flying for a couple hours, and then go play in a football game in minus 30 wind
Minus
chill.
30.
That is
It
crazy.
should be illegal.
The Chiefs are like,
That
the
should be
Chiefs
illegal.
should win. It should be illegal. They were like, it's like dangerously cold. Like these
Did you
people
s-
might actually die.
Speaking of NFL, did you see what's happening with the Steelers-Bills game?
No.
So they, the Bills stadium got so just filled with snow and so freezing cold.
Oh, I think I
They
saw this.
offered
Yeah.
Fans, they offered fans $20 an hour plus food and drink to shovel it. It still was so bad that they canceled the game and moved it to Monday night
Dang.
because it was just like it was hopeless. It was hopeless. You couldn't do anything.
I played a snow bowl in high school, and it was like the most fun I've ever had. Because it was I scored a touchdown and then did a penguin slide, and I got a horrible penalty for that.
You got a
Unfortunately,
penalty for a
I
penguin
know.
slide?
It was
For
disgusting. Because
celebration?
Wait,
Are
were
you
you-
not
yeah,
were you
so
like
I
dive
scored the
forward?
I scored the touchdown, and then I like gave the ball to the ref nicely,
Yeah.
and then I went and like penguin dove into the snow, cause it's snow. Like
It's
that's like
snow.
the right thing to do. And they were like, "Yeah, no, that's unsportsmanlike conduct.
We should
Your
sue 'em.
excessive celebration." I don't think we should sue the refs because there's like 4 of them in the Pacific Northwest, and we need them.
we need them badly.
We don't have
one of
anyone
them
else
is
who can do
George
anything.
Landis.
We want football to develop in the Northwest. We
Yeah.
need those refs.
But I feel like the Bills and the Steelers are like adequately prepared for playing in snow because they're
Yeah,
both like
that's fair.
Buffalo is not, Florida.
No.
Which is why the Chiefs should win versus the Dolphins because like,
No,
they spend their time in Kansas City, which is A, the most, sad place on earth, and B, it's cold and no one's happy there. So, anyway, speaking of cold, Vivek Ramaswamy, the man is making his rounds in Iowa. Have you seen this?
No.
I've seen some of it. He's just out there in the snow talking to people and interviewing them, and it's oof.
Bro,
putting in
he's
work.
like
putting
he's
in
like driving all across Iowa in like and it's like blizzarding and he's like driving through like 4 feet of snow.
He's just talking to like.
Yeah, he's just
people at a time.
campaigning.
campaigning. Yeah, just talking to potential
It's,
voters.
but it's not
responsible.
big things like Trump would do, like the big.
No, a lot of it's very
rallies.
personal. Right?
No, it's like he like shows up at a coffee club
Yeah,
and
like,
then
it's very personal
like there's
for him.
like 50 people there.
Yeah.
And he drove 4 hours and nearly killed himself for it.
Wow.
It's like, you know what? I respect the hustle.
I respect
The man
hustle,
does
but,
not quit.
If
He's
you want to
the
be president, we need you alive.
he is the hardest working person in politics at the moment.
Yes,
Yeah.
and probably the most like, or I guess this is also hardworking, but he puts in the most effort to actually like connect with people. Have
Yeah.
a conversation.
Bro, he invites all of his protesters in.
Yeah,
Which is, like,
He
so
invites
foreign
protesters
to
in,
any
have a
politics.
debate. Yeah, yeah.
Like
yeah,
he's just
politics.
completely different.
Yeah.
So he's gaining friends and influencing people left, right, and center because everyone's like,
True.
"Wow, I respect this guy for actually like showing up and being different than everyone else."
Yeah.
Biden, on the other hand, is losing friends
left, right, and center.
while in wild droves of people are leaving Biden's campaign.
I feel like Ramaswamy's tactic helps with like maybe people who see him online and watch some of his content and like thoroughly think through like what are some of the qualities a U.S. president should have.
Yeah,
But for the general American, I don't think it's gonna work. I feel like the big rallies and like the funny jokes and memes that Trump
The general
makes.
American is not smart enough to figure out what Vivek Ramaswamy is saying.
That's
Yeah,
fair.
and the
But
thing is,
again,
it's
the general
too
American isn't the
tailored.
one going out and voting. So
Yeah, and realistically, it doesn't matter how many Americans think Vivek is great. A bunch of dead Americans are going to vote Democrat, so that's a bummer.
that's also fair.
Yeah.
Okay, let's jump into a quick conspiracy theory. I was
Hold
curious
up.
about. Oh,
Bring it.
I just wanted to ask.
Bring
wanted
it.
to ask. Do we think Biden is still alive, or is this just a double? Because
You mean the OG Biden?
the OG Biden,
Like,
Joe
is
Biden,
Joseph
is
still
this
alive?
Joseph Biden on stage, or is this someone wearing a Joseph Biden mask?
Or is there a Joseph Biden double? So, like,
Wait,
Biden
yeah.
takes, like, off days.
that's
you-
actually.
Do you think
'cause-
it's because like he died and then they had to bring somebody in,
Yeah.
or do you think it's because like they needed somebody more articulate?
That's
I don't
what I'm
know.
thinking. No, he's
I
definitely
think-
not articulate.
No,
I would
they
say
picked the wrong person if they're trying to get someone
They got a
articulate.
double.
They're like, all right, we gotta get someone who knows how to talk. And then they brought in this dude who's like,
crap.
the best part of being in America is this is straight under pressure.
Can be summed up in one word.
Straight under pressure.
So
I was in the foothills of the Himalayas.
I don't think it's a double.
Riding a
I think
horse.
Biden becomes a whole new man when they pump him full of the performance-enhancing drugs. Not like
But is-
for like muscle, but for. The
I would love to see
competition.
Biden on
Does
I would
steroids.
not
become
be
a whole new
surprised.
man, or is it just like a resurrected man? Like, is this actually a Frankenstein in real life?
No, I think he's just really old, but they like. They
Well,
give him
how
a
old
few
is he? Hold up, I'm gonna look this
fancy
up.
pills.
80-something. He's not
and
ancient. That's
he
the thing.
gets just
He's too
totally
old to be in
juiced up.
politics. but
Yeah,
he's not like. He's not ancient.
yeah. Did you see the who was it? There was some group, and they were like, "Oh, Apple, literally the biggest tech
Yeah,
company in the
yeah.
world, was like telling its executive or people on its board or something, you guys are too old to still be doing this."
Mhm.
And so they made them like resign, and they're like,
How
"Well,
old were
we'll
they?
pay you for like a lot," but
72.
yeah,
Dude,
Something like that.
which
okay,
is
here's-
wild. But
Yeah.
they're
makes sense.
72, and our politicians are 85,
here's
and they're still running the biggest country,
There's
in the most
Apple-
powerful country in the world.
There's Apple, and then
What
there's
the heck?
Bill Belichick. There's Nick Saban. Then there's Pete Carroll from the Seahawks.
Pete
You have
Carroll, yeah.
People in all industries in like different areas of life. People generally recognize your 70s is probably where you should stop being the head of an organization, or you should stop.
Bro,
being the
they
person
stopped letting you
making big
drive
calls.
at like 75 or 80.
Yeah,
and Biden is 81.
Somehow that person is still past 80 is just still okay to lead the free world.
The free, yeah.
How on earth?
Well, let's be honest, he's not leading anything, but
okay,
you know,
fair, but still,
he,
they
he's
elected
he's
him
up
to-
there. Yeah. But anyway, no, Biden. Back to your question, is Biden real? I wouldn't be shocked if because they'd have to replace him before he ran for president,
Yeah.
because otherwise, like, why not just if he
Just
dies,
run someone else.
have Kamala
Yeah.
puppet run the country?
That's actually fair.
So I
fair.
think if they did that, it would have to be before, which I don't know if that makes sense. I wouldn't be shocked if he
No.
has a double. Like, here's Biden.
that's what I'm curious
Biden
about
on
too.
some days versus
Well,
you
then,
know.
like, did you see the thing last week of apparently he was gone for like 3 days? Like, he was not seen by anybody in the public eye for 3 days.
Hey, he was on Epstein's Island,
Oh, jeez.
He was,
Okay.
reminiscing about old friends, old times.
Oh no.
might have to cut that.
Well, Luke's not comfortable anymore. Anyway,
Neither were the kids.
yeah. Hey.
Sorry, Luke.
Have you seen the Theo Von clip where he's talking to Drewski, and Drewski's like, "I was like 8 years old when Michael Jackson died," and he was like, "I never met him," and Theo Von's like, "Dang, that would have been the time too."
Oh gosh.
Theo Von is one
So
of the
bad.
most off-the-cuff comedians ever. He's so
He's so
funny.
random. I feel like his brain just works differently.
I think
Yes.
so.
Like it's just
I think part of it, I think he's trained it to think like that because that's his whole comedy routine.
Yeah.
It's like this very, like, he just jumps to the strangest conclusions so quickly.
Did you see he was like, "I beat Down syndrome"? I think
Yes.
that Down syndrome beat him and is now using his body
Now
to
he-
say that he
It is
beat
no
Down
longer
syndrome.
The syndrome. He is the syndrome.
I am
So
syndrome.
I
am
saw
syndrome.
he had two of his nephews on his podcast,
Yes.
and did you see the clip?
I
His
saw
nephew was
some of it.
like, he's like, they're talking about random stuff like Cheerios, and then one of them chimes in. He's like, "My friends are addicted to foot doctors," and then Theo Von, without skipping a beat, he's like, "My friends are addicted to inoculations." It's like getting like vaccine shots or something like that. And it was just out of nowhere. And then they
I
started
would
talking
love
about,
to
like,
be
bass fish
at
after
Thanksgiving.
with
with the Theo Von
It
family.
has no logical progression. Like nothing's connected. But
Dude,
it's the
imagine how
funniest
much
thing to
treasure
watch.
from Theo Von is lost in like Thanksgiving meetings and things like that. Just no one sees or hears it, but there's so much gold there.
No one's recording,
No.
and he's just doing it.
He's just letting loose. Oh,
Anyway, well, Biden may or not be a real person, but he definitely isn't running the country.
that's for
That
sure.
is
That is for sure.
that is almost
Have you
entirely
seen the
true.
picture of him? You could pop it up if you're gonna edit the video. There are pictures of him with a detached earlobe. You know how like
Oh, yeah,
comes
I've
out
seen
and
this.
Others with
I've seen
attached.
that.
It's okay. Here's the deal: is it's possible it's a facelift, but also I'm not sure that you actually attach or detach earlobes because of that.
I don't think you
I
do.
didn't
Have
think
you
you
also
did.
seen it with like his nose is different or something?
And it's
Yeah.
just, if you compare him to like 10 years ago, and I know obviously he's aging and it's aging pretty quickly because he's in his 80s, but still, it's just like you said, there's things like that are just totally different.
He used to be able to complete sentences.
Yes.
I miss the days when.
Used to be able to complete sentences.
Yeah.
That's an important, that's an important skill for
Yeah.
president of the U.S.
I don't even know that he could complete sentences when he ran for president, though, which is slightly more concerning. That, although I will say, he got as many votes as he is years old. He got 81 million votes, and he's 81.
Who's gonna win this next election?
Definitely Chris Christie.
Christian? No.
Dude, Chris Christie looks exactly like Silas Ramsbottom.
What did he
Do you know
actually
who
does?
Silas
Yes,
Ramsbottom
yes,
is?
From Despicable
No.
Me
From
2.
Despicable Me
The
2.
Silas Ramsbottom.
He's
like,
the-
head
he's
of
the
big
AVL guy.
Big chin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He always got like he's
And
trying
he-
to scoot through the cabinets or whatever.
Yeah.
So fat.
He's built like half of an hourglass.
yes.
Yeah, I think I remember.
Yeah.
That's
That's
fat
Chris
half.
Christie.
That's Chris
funny.
Christie.
Anyway.
You know who will is okay. The craziest theory I just saw is Democrats point out Michelle Obama.
Oh,
for
my word.
Running. Oh, people are like, hey, maybe this is why they're pushing so hard on the transgender agenda for the past few years. Is
Bro.
just to soften the blow when Michelle Obama's actually a dude.
If Michelle's a dude, not only is he trans, but Obama's gay. But it's like, does anyone really care?
No, I don't think anyone cares. And then it's also like, or at least on their side of the aisle, no one cares. And then it's also like, I feel like she'll just try and use it to her advantage and be like, everyone hates me because of this. And all the Democrats are like, no, we love you.
I know.
I like how this dude podcast has turned to a conspiracy theory podcast.
Okay, conspiracy theory podcasts are the best. Let's
They
be
are
honest.
very funny.
They're the
That's
best.
true.
You gotta have
Anyway.
some conspiracy theories.
What's a non-political conspiracy theory? Like one that you think has some meat behind it. I feel like a lot of things end up being political.
That's true. Because that's like the motivation is power and money and all that
Yeah.
stuff. But
I think that trees are actually have dryads and naiads in them.
is that real? Like,
No, of course not.
oh, okay.
Oh.
No, I'm saying real as in like a lot of
Oh.
people believe that.
No, I don't think so. I think
Oh.
I'm the only person.
So I
but
saw-
Hey, keep it up. big
I
guy.
think it's Tyler
Stay
Rivera
strong.
on
Yeah, stay
YouTube.
strong.
never change.
He did a mini mini doc on it wasn't him. It was like a news organization. I forgot exactly what it was, but it was these guys on YouTube investigating the glitter industry in the U.S. It was super secretive, super guarded.
Bro,
and-
it's glitter.
well, no. So back in the day, they used glitter to
Bomb
like a
Iraq?
special
I mean-
type of small.
Where's the
pieces of
money here?
metal, for some sort of military thing.
Okay, I
Anyway,
was right. I did bomb Iraq with glitter.
no, they didn't bomb it with glitter, but I think it was to like I know when it hits that many pieces of metal that are deflecting
Yeah.
different ways, it can mess up either radio frequencies or some sort of
Oh.
something.
So like planes used glitter
Oh,
as
interesting.
evasive maneuvers.
Yeah.
That'd be kinda sick. Although it'd be sick, but it'd be a bummer if you're like below when like, jets being
just
chased
get
and just
Blinded.
glitter bomb and then like your cows are covered in glitter for the rest of time. It's like dadgum.
Never get it out.
This
Yeah.
stupid.
Just your entire like 50 acres of Iraqi farmland are just covered in glitter. You're like, okay. Well,
Yeah, dadgum. I don't know that the Iraqis have farms, do they?
well, they've got to. They have so many goats and camels and stuff.
That's true. They have lots of goats. That's all.
Love their
That's
I'm
Lots of
interesting. I'm interested. What are you most excited for about Zambia, and what are you, I guess, least excited for?
I'm most excited to hopefully meet people who are useful and also
Useful, like how
What?
so?
How so?
useful
Like
and
useful
like
as in,
no,
like,
I
they
mean more
can
like
they
people
can
who
do
are
things?
like I like meeting people who are driven and
Yeah, that's fair.
who are interested in becoming better.
Yeah,
And I hope there are some of those over there. But I was talking to the guy in the guy who's like the head of something at the college. And he's like, yeah, so there's the boarding house, but that's for the people who come from tribes where they like have absolute nothing. So it's like the people who come from like you have a hole in the ground as your toilet and you all like your whole tribe lives in a house, like in one house. He's like, those people go to the boarding house and it's like a huge step up. He's like, you're from America. You would probably not find it as a step up. Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
that's fair. Honestly, I can see that.
But anyway, I'm excited to meet the people. That's honestly why I'm going, is for the people and for the experience. I am not going for the education, because I do not think it is going to be like a full
Super
on.
robust.
Yeah.
Didn't you get told that
Ivy
too? It's
League
not like
education.
Yeah, Vody Bacham
Yeah,
talked.
not
I
being-
asked Vody Bacham. I was
not
like,
being
hey,
disparaging towards their capabilities. Just
Yeah.
like, he was like, look. You
I
go
was
for
like,
the
is this going to be useful? And he's like, no, not really. You're American, but you should
So
go
is
for the
their
experience.
grading
I was like,
system
all
the
right,
same?
right, that's fine.
Is their grading system the same, like A, B, C? all
You're
that?
asking the wrong guy. They have told me literally as
He
little
literally
as they
just got
could.
accepted
I'm
last week.
curious to
Yeah,
see
they got
the-
like 2 weeks before.
I'm
he
curious
leaves.
to
I got
see what
accepted
grades
2
you
weeks
get.
before I leave. Yeah.
Do you think you'll get straight A's?
They did say that this Ben Merkel from NSA was talked to him, and he was like, "Yeah, no, it's not academically rigorous.
Okay.
It's gonna be super easy for you, but it's the experience that I'm going for again." So yeah, if I will probably be fine grades wise, but
Are you
Yeah.
planning on sticking around long term, or is it something like just dependent on?
probably
timing
not. Well, it
that
depends on if the U.S. decides to fall apart.
happens?
Then I
That's
might, because then I've like got a second life over
fair.
there,
Exactly.
which would be nice and very useful. I could bring you guys over there, and then we could
It's actually true.
host
Dude,
this
do a
podcast in
podcast
Africa
in Zambia.
with
Sounds
dirt
sick.
I actually am
floors.
so down to go to Zambia.
Yeah, no, it'd be
That's
sick.
Yeah.
It's yeah, I will probably stay a year there, but then I might go back for a second year. I have no idea.
Just totally
Literally
dependent on
none.
what happens.
Yeah.
Literally none. Yeah.
I feel
That's
like
fair.
anytime you go outside of the country, it really widens your perspective how
True.
other
Yeah,
people
for sure,
live, especially third world countries.
Especially third world countries. Yeah.
And like some of the maybe assumptions you have about how society should function or could,
Yep.
when you see such a different way of living and like totally different climate, area, background of their nation, like all these different things, I feel like it kind of makes you think different about
Mhm.
about I don't know, just
Yeah,
people
we
and-
went to Belize for 1 year, or no, for spring break 1 year. And bro, we showed up with this guy on a plane, and then he was like also there for spring break. He got to his resort, got in a golf cart, was like on the first day, was like just driving down the road in his resort, got hit by a drunk driver, broke like 37 bones, and had to be immediately airlifted back to the U.S. to have
From
like
Belize.
to have
nothing
to
good.
have surgery. Oh no, they have nothing.
Crap.
Yeah, we had like 4 different cars that trip because ours kept breaking down. We got like a car, and they were like, "This is good car, very good." And then we drove it like 2 miles, and then it died. And then they
crazy.
came with another
Good
car,
And who
and
knows? Maybe for Belize, that is a good car.
we're like, "Wow, you got full 2 miles,
got 2
big
miles.
time."
That is a good
And then we drove another one, and we got another one, and then we kept driving because we were going to like this waterfall. We got to the waterfall. We went and like visited, checked it out. We came back to the car, and it would not work. And so we started hitting it with a rock, and eventually it worked. We just were like hitting random things with rocks, and eventually the sucker
like
turned
the
on.
engine, you just start smacking it.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
We were smacking the
That's wild.
engine, the underside of the car. Anyway, it worked for no apparent reason. Like, that is not how cars work.
No,
But
that's crazy.
then we drove it, and then it broke down, and we got another car. But anyway, Belize is Tortola, which is a place in the British Virgin Islands, is where cars go to die.
Yeah.
Belize is their graveyard in like the
It's already
afterlife.
dead.
Like they're
It's
already
already
dead.
It's
They're
not-
already gone. They've had all their goodbyes, and now they're just like suffering in pain for the next
For the
3
rest of
What-
miles, and
what
then they're
motivated
done.
the trip to Belize?
We were like, we haven't been to South or Central America, and so we went to Belize, which is like, it's super third world, like
Yeah.
wildly. No one there. Like, it's dirt roads. No one has a car besides the tourists.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
That's crazy.
we stand out, and we stand out even more when we're sitting on the side of the road with our car.
Stand out even more. No, I think to y'all's point, I think the craziest part to me is like Leek was saying the difference of like what each, like when you go to a third world country or second world country or anything like that, it's like the difference of what they put emphasis on and what they value.
Oh yeah, I was talking to my grandfather who's been everywhere, including North Korea several times, and
insane.
preaching
Wow.
the gospel, and India and like Iraq and Afghanistan. Like this man has been everywhere. And he was like, yeah, no, so they value the ancestors like way more. Even after the ancestors are dead and gone, buried in their graves, they still will like put up, Mexico has Dia de los Muertos. The Africans will still put up like pictures of their dead relatives on like their fireplace, and then just put like cookies next to it. And then the cookies will be gone in the morning, and everyone's like, oh my word, the ancestors. They got the cookies.
It's like the toddler who got up in the middle of the night and was like,
thanks for
fools.
the cookies. But anyway, no, they which is why they live, a lot of them live in mud huts, is because it's like out of respect to the people who lived in mud huts.
Well, and it's interesting, like,
Which is
also,
just,
and interesting, like you said, the ancestors, and also the emphasis on like community and family. Like Joffrey from Brazil, he was talking, or I was talking to him, and he was basically just saying that like it was such a big difference of culture, like coming over to the U.S. where everyone's very like, oh, we'll hang out with friends like maybe once a week or something like that. And he's like, when you're in Brazil, like everyone is always hanging out, going to each other's houses without invitation. Family is like number one priority.
yeah. In the U.S., it's like I.
Yeah.
Everywhere else, it seems to be we.
Yeah, especially in those, the third world countries.
Especially because like you don't necessarily know where your next meal is going to come from. So it's
Yeah,
like, well,
exactly.
kind of I gotta like
I
be
gotta
here
have
with.
this network to help me survive.
Because hopefully,
Yeah.
if they'll have food, and then if I don't, then I can just get merch off there.
And
So
if none of us do, we can go get some together.
yeah, we can get
I'm
steal from
curious,
the rich
what do
guy.
you think motivates that? Even in, like, let's say Asian culture, they take care of their parents when they get older. It's very ingrained.
Yeah, in the U.S., we just put them in a home.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, the U.S. is completely different.
Your
Or
dad's like listening
uh,
outside the door. He's like, nope.
No, we don't.
even the sense of community, or like a lot of parents living with their kids.
Yeah.
So like in the U.S., you have the nuclear family; they move out and make their own family unit and all that. But in Asian cultures, sometimes the parents will live with the kids. So I know, and
It's
you see
just
that in
it's.
other places
I think
too.
it's like tribal because it was like you live with your tribe. The chief makes decisions for the tribe that have impact on everyone there. And so if you were to go out on your own, you would probably die. So you've got to stay with your family, your tribe, and then you take care of your parents as assigned to your kids that you want them to do the same.
Yeah,
So
I
it's
think
like
that
it's
makes
it's
sense.
give so that you can get.
Yeah.
I think
so
that's fair.
But it's just survival. And in the U.S., there was like, maybe at the beginning it was that way, with Jamestown, and they all were dying if they walked outside the walls because Indians were, having a bonfire
Come on
with
now.
Chief Marshal over there. But after that, it was like America has become so like we're so commercialized and so
It's
like
individualistic
you can
too.
individualistic and like if I wanted to move out and I wanted to move across the country, I could totally do that, and like I could live by myself in Florida.
Yeah. And no one
like-
blinks an eye. It's just like,
And it's like everyone like, okay, that makes sense. Oh, camera's about to die. Hold up.
oh, really? Oh. We're so
Got a quick
back.
little I don't have to talk. No, guess who's back?
Back.
Again.
Back again.
All right. Hunter Biden
Please.
ran out of court randomly for just because he got insulted, I think.
Hey, come on now. It's not suspicious at all.
No.
The man has feelings.
No. He's a very
They're
upstanding
persecuting
individual.
him.
Wait, so
They're
like,
persecuting
court
him.
it was actively going on.
No, they were like
They were
the
they were in the
interviewing him.
thick of
senators were like,
Yeah.
"Sir,
He stands
you're
up and
smoking
runs
crack
away.
and sleeping with women who are not your wife."
It was
Left,
Marjorie
right,
Taylor
and
Greene.
center.
She was going to interview him and ask
Yeah.
him questions, and right before she started talking, he just got up and ran out.
He was like, "I am done with this. My
Wait,
father
did
has
he say anything?
my
he's
father
not-
has power, and I am going to abuse it."
Yes.
He's not under arrest, is he?
I think he's in custody. I don't know.
some sort of detainment.
Is his father?
He's not allowed to
pardon
go
him?
back to Las Vegas and speed around.
That is,
Yeah.
I don't think his father's allowed to pardon him yet because he's not quite been convicted of anything. right?
His
Like,
father's not allowed to pardon him, but he does like flaunt his father's power. Bro, he
Yeah.
was in the middle of a court case, and he just called his dad and put him on speakerphone.
Are you
And
serious?
just
In the middle
like
of a court
set him
case?
there,
I didn't see that.
which is
That's
like a
crazy.
total like power trip move.
It's a Hunter
Like-
Biden move.
And
It's
watch it.
100
It's not
Biden.
even his dad. It's just like some staffer who's like, yeah, okay, it's Joe Biden on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, is this Joe Biden?
Oh my word, Mr.
that's
Biden,
great.
we're,
It's Joe.
Mr.
It's Joe.
President,
It's
we're
Mr.
sorry.
President, I'm so sorry.
Who
we'll
wins
do
in a
better.
fight between Hunter Biden and Donald Trump Jr.?
Oh, Donald Trump
Donald
Jr.
Trump Jr.
all
because he's
day.
not
that's
on.
what I think.
Well, actually, no. I'd say it depends on if Hunter's on crack that day.
If he's fueled
Because
by
if he is, if that sucker has gas in the tank, he could go for years.
Dude, it's
Dude,
like Cocaine Bear the second.
Yeah.
Dude, I feel like
Cocaine Bear featuring Hunter Biden.
I feel like Don has some weight behind his punch.
Dude, I
Don,
Well,
when
it
I met
also
him,
dep-
he was like, he seemed a little more fit and like he actually,
Yeah.
you know, like maybe he did.
I feel like
cardio
he's
or
very
things.
easy to piss off. You know what I mean? Like
Hunter
I feel like
or
no,
Don?
Don. I feel like Hunter's very easy to scare, and Don would be very easy to piss off. Like if Hunter comes up to him and starts like smack talking him,
Biden Jr. or sorry, Trump Jr.
Trump Jr. Yeah.
I don't
I
think
feel
so.
like-
I think he seemed pretty mellow.
Really?
Yeah,
He seems like he has a cool head, but if you need to take
because
care
he
of
was. I was.
business,
feel
he'll
like
take
I
care
was
of
at
very
his.
excitable.
Yeah. When
least
I
online,
visited
he gets
him,
very
he was
excitable.
like.
it. He's a good speaker too. He talks
He's
kind
a
of like
pretty
his
decent
dad.
speaker, yeah.
He talks like his dad.
with
Who
like
was it? He was like his dad moves up and down, and he moves.
No.
left
I
to
think it's
right.
the other way.
Is it the
Don
other way?
moves up
Yeah,
and down,
yeah, Don
and then his
moves-
dad moves side to side.
Yeah.
Side to side.
Don will be
It's
like,
so true though.
Yeah.
It's so true.
It's funny.
And the chop the
I
salad.
can't wait to see what his son. His son is gonna
The
be
son's
like
doing diagonal. like, what is he doing?
Yeah. Look, I gotta be different somehow. Okay.
Yeah.
So Hunter has no friends. Nikki Haley
Sounds like
is
also has no
competing with
friends.
him for lack of friends because that woman she's like a cross between Nancy Pelosi and I can't figure out who else.
Dude,
but just
no,
she
it's,
looks
it's
like Nancy.
Hillary Clinton.
Well,
It's
she's
Nancy Pelosi and Hillary Clinton had a baby.
which
Not like that.
yeah, it shouldn't happen and can't.
Happen.
But no, no one likes her.
No.
The internet,
Or cares.
specifically X, is just like go away.
What did you hear? How
Stop
much
the
money
Stop.
Christie said he like on that hot mic moment? How much money he said they spent on her campaign? They've spent somewhere around $68 million so far.
And all they've
She
gotten
has
is
one
hate.
state. That's what I'm saying. She has only one state where she's second.
I know.
She has no states where she's first. One state where she's second in the polls.
I wonder what motivates the presidential runners who really don't, or who kind of know that they're not going to win.
Yeah.
Like
A lot of it-
who's that? Ted Cruz, for example. He's not going to win.
He's not running now though.
Oh well, wait,
But
he
back
was
when
running before.
Well, he
yeah.
had a good shot back when he was running.
or
Like, he had taken a good 10 plus states. As I
Oh, yeah.
recall.
oh really?
Like he had a good, he had won a good number of states.
He had
It was
he
very
had a
close.
good shot, but then
And
Donald
then
Trump sat
Tim
on
Clark
his
came
face.
in.
yeah.
Tim
But
Clark. Well, really, what it was there was a big momentum shift around the West Coast region because he was winning a ton of states, and then there was the California and a few other places in the Republican primaries where Donald Trump just took those big, huge, those key states that just swung the rest of everything.
dude,
his
he
momentum.
Trump must have had a crazy campaign manager for
Crazy
the West
campaign
Coast.
director.
Must
Yeah.
have been like
Put him in wow, such a god at campaigning and marketing.
such incredible hate.
Like I would love to meet that guy someday.
Yeah, man.
That'd be
Dude,
crazy.
Love to work
imagine,
for him.
'cause
Working
Bro,
for him would be
imagine
nice.
Dude, you would
working
learn
for
so much.
the
Dude.
knowledge you would gain.
The knowledge you would gain.
Oh my word.
Would
Yeah.
be crazy.
But
But I
it's
think
probably just like super zeroed in and focused all the time.
all the time. Never
I-
makes jokes.
I don't think. I think he's a no nonsense person.
No nonsense. No, I think to answer your question though, Luke, I think a big part of it, I know a little bit just from other, I worked in Idaho State Capitol for a little bit, and from stuff that I heard was a big part of it when people run campaigns that they know they won't win, is to get their name out there for something
Yeah.
else.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
like,
it's
a
like-
guy,
it's
lower
like
position.
it's like what
Yeah.
everyone thought Vivek was going to do. Like just
Yes.
run. Everyone knows
Try
the
to get
name.
VP.
Everyone's
Yeah.
still working on pronouncing the name. In 4 years, maybe he'll run again, and maybe he'll do better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now he's like a legitimate contender, and everyone knows the name
Yes.
Ramaswamy.
Which
Yeah.
is
Which is
actually pretty
very
impressive to
impressive.
make everyone know
Very
the name
impressive.
Ramaswamy.
I saw Ramaswamy speak and Don Jr. speak both at the TPUSA event, and I thought it'd be really interesting when Ramaswamy was taking questions if somebody was like, "Why should somebody vote for you instead of Donald Trump?" Because a lot of people there are Trump fans.
That's true.
Yeah.
But some of them
Especially the
are
kids.
Ramaswamy fans. But like, I know
Just to ask
they're
a
both at the same convention.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
I hope
He
that
and
I
then
hope
Don's
that
son.
Trump wins and Vivek is vice president.
That would
be a
crazy good.
great.
Do you think that's
combo.
possible?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
I don't
Oh,
know.
yeah.
I don't know if
I
there's.
think-
I don't know if they're cordial or like what.
I
their
would but I
terms are.
assume even if there isn't like they love each other, like Vivek is such a smart, controlled dude, at least publicly, like calm, thoughtful dude.
No, he beats his
That-
kids.
No, it's not. No. Oh jeez. Wait, does he?
No, of
Oh,
course not.
okay. Good,
Does he have kids?
Yeah.
Yeah, he
He's
has like
two.
two,
I
three.
thought. 2 or 3. Yeah.
Okay.
Like so he's got
Yeah,
kids.
and he
But
has
I
the
think-
ability. I mean, he works
Yeah.
out. He plays
Oh
tennis.
jeez.
Like he could totally do
He's
it.
got this speed and strength.
Not as much as RFK Jr. though. That man could like kill someone.
Dude,
without a shadow of a doubt.
RFK could. I feel like he would maul a bear, not vice
That's
versa.
Who wins,
Probably true.
RFK versus Donald Trump? Because
Trump-
Trump,
RFK.
no, in
RFK.
like no holds barred, like
Oh.
just full on fight. Because I don't know.
Dude,
Dude,
it has
I
to be RFK.
I don't. Well, here's the thing,
Dude, he
Trump
can
is
do like
heavy. That man
He's
is
got
not
lower center-
small.
But
He's
the thing is,
heavy,
Trump is a businessman. He's not shirtless on a rooftop like RFK is. Incline benching.
True,
225.
but RFK is just smaller, and this is like the Elon Musk versus Mark Zuckerberg. Mass physics matter.
But
No, it does, but I feel like because RFK can move so much mass that like I feel like
think he beats
Trump's
Trump?
weight. I think
Also,
so. 'Cause Trump's
in-
weight-
Trump
Trump
can't
isn't
do the
obese.
walrus move.
No, because
No.
Trump isn't obese. He's
No, he's
fat,
a
but he's
free
not
for all,
obese.
like street fight, to the death, or I know at least like let's say UFC rules.
Okay.
RFKJ wins because I think he has more maneuverability.
Yes.
And if he gets around the
He can
throat, he
dance
could
around him.
squeeze.
Yeah, if he gets around the throat, and I feel like all it would take would be lasting like long enough outside of Trump's reach for Trump to make one move that like puts him off balance, and then he's around him and he takes him down.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Yeah. He's
But
just
do-
more in shape. Anyway,
Yeah.
that's
Not saying he wouldn't
Vivek-
get hurt by that blubber, but
Yeah, no. Vivek
take
would
some
get
damage.
taken down by RFK though. Vivek is toast. RFK
Probably.
RFK would cook
What if
him.
Vivek's like secretly this just jiu-jitsu master? he's
Yeah,
just
I don't
like-
know.
Dude, watch Vivek. He's like actually the real life Batman, and
Bro.
he's like the super billionaire, like smart, fast.
He's
talking,
not
sharp
like
dude.
he's not like
And then-
hench, but
No, he's not hench, but he could be super
You know
fast.
what'd be really
And
funny?
if he has like those power up things and batarangs and
if,
crap,
is
I
if
bet
it
he
like
could do
when
good.
he met Putin, he like starts like he and Putin decide to wrestle.
They just are like, you know what?
Let's wrestle.
Let's wrestle over Ukraine right now.
I know. And
The
then they
fate
just
of Zelensky will be decided through
And the
this
thing is,
jiu-jitsu
Putin
match.
thinks he's just gonna crush
Putin
him.
thinks he would crush him.
but
I don't
he
know if
comes out
Putin-
here like,
like-
on one leg, like whoa, pa-pa.
Dude, he just does the
Out of
karate kids
nowhere.
right in
Vivek
the
is
face.
like the praying mantis in Kung Fu Panda.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, 50-50 on Putin actually obeying the rules afterward.
Yeah, no idea.
But like I feel like half of him would and half of him wouldn't. Because half of him would be like, you beat me fair and square. This is the
Mhm.
Russian way.
yes,
We now surrender.
actually, I'm
but
curious.
at the same
yeah,
time,
that's
he'd
a good
also be
point.
like, no, I'm
also
not
don't-
doing this.
I wouldn't be surprised if Putin had some like secret skills.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
he probably
no, Putin,
wrestles
Putin
bears.
was in like
He
the
probably wrestles
KGB or whatever
bears.
they call it. in
Yeah.
Russia.
Yeah.
That
Also,
man is.
I don't know how much of it is for publicity, but
Oh,
you
Putin
see
on the
the-
bear.
yeah, Putin with the bear,
Shirtless
or
on
like
the
That's
bear.
wild.
Putin
That's wild.
shirtless riding a horse, or like he does a lot of stuff shirtless, but he just does so
Look,
many activities.
How
Look,
how many
when you
shirtless
are-
pics of Putin are you looking up, Luke?
No, dude, it's the
Luke's
memes.
background on his
When I
phone
get
is
home-
not his wife.
It's
it's
not
shirtless
Grace.
Putin.
It's not his wife. It's Putin shirtless,
Yeah.
riding a bear. AK-47 in each hand.
Yeah.
No,
riding a
but
bear.
actually, also, I'm pretty sure there's a video of Putin shooting shirtless. He has. I'm telling you, Putin.
I think the only
he's-
thing he doesn't do shirtless is politics. But
Yeah.
everything else, I'm pretty sure. Like he
Even
walks
then,
out
though?
of the Parliament building and then just like, I'm free.
I'm free now. Well, even then though, who knows? Like, imagine in like cabinet meetings or something. He's just like sitting by the fire shirtless with a glass
Or
of
like
scotch or
you know
something.
he's closed and then someone says something that offends him and he just takes
gets
off his shirt
pissed,
like,
rips
look at
off
me
the
now,
shirt.
boy. I will whoop you. That'd be that. Yeah.
That'd be
I
so
don't know if that's
funny.
gonna happen. but
No, well, who knows?
Anyway,
We'll never know.
I guess we'll never know, as old Kanye said. Anyway, we've discussed politics, and we've all become sadder for it because the politics of the United
pretty
States is
depressing.
falling apart.
Pretty depressing.
Martin Scorsese is making a new movie about Jesus. with
Yeah.
Jennifer Lawrence and I think it's Emma Stone, right?
Emma Stone as Emma Stone's Judas and Jennifer Lawrence as Jesus, apparently.
Jennifer Lawrence is Jesus. Get that through your thick skulls.
Wait, Emma Stone is Judas.
Judas. She's playing Judas, and then Martin Scorsese.
The male
Yes.
Judas.
Yeah,
And-
so you
and
know
Jennifer
how like
Lawrence is playing
everyone
the
in
very
this,
male
you know how like
Jesus.
almost everyone in the story of the gospel is male?
Yeah.
Nope.
Not anymore.
Not in this
You
movie.
They are now
racist. You
female.
bigot. They're now
Wait.
female.
And
That's
we had
so
Jennifer
weird.
Lawrence, one of like the worst people in Hollywood.
You know what's
is
crazy,
playing
though?
Jesus.
You know what's
Is
crazy?
it
to me,
like
though?
a mockery, or are they like
Oh, it's
doing
gotta
the
be.
real
I mean, they're-
story?
No, they're doing like a modern.
No matter
retelling.
what
It's
it
like
is,
modern
it's a
retelling.
mockery.
Yeah.
And
That's-
it's
well, that's
blasphemy
true.
left,
But
right,
like,
center.
are they doing the biblical story but inserting women as the males, or
Imagine-
is it-
But
Imagine-
they're doing a more modern portrayal of it. A modern
Mar-
portrayal.
Mary and Martha are like Ryan Reynolds and what's his
Okay,
face?
this is what I'm
Logan.
confused about, because that's a good point. That was part of my question. Is like, talk about like diversity and all that.
Yeah.
They just took like two Middle Eastern like dark-skinned men and turned them into white women. Like
Not
what
two,
happened?
12
Or
by the
multiple?
looks
Wait,
of it.
are they all white women?
Well, I would guess.
Oh,
I mean, they'll probably have some black women.
I was
in
gonna
there,
say,
and they'll
but that's
probably-
what I was curious
They'll probably
about.
have
It's
a tranny and a gay
you
person
kind of went in
playing
reverse.
John and James or something.
because what happened to white privilege? Like you kind of went in reverse there. Like
Yeah, but they're women, so everything's fine now.
that's fair.
I feel like whatever the story is, you should just be true to the story. Like Black Panther was an amazing example of
Black Panther is such a good movie.
of
Rest
like
in
a
peace,
really
Dad.
great story, and they were true to the characters and true to the story.
Yeah.
It's like if you are telling the biblical story, you should
You
have
don't
a
have to
realistic
put your
portrayal of
agenda
the
in
real
everything.
people.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's the thing is when you purposely make it about like I don't know, gender and race in the movies. I feel you should tell really good stories, and there's so many really great rich stories out there that portray all sorts of people from a bunch of different areas, and rather than inserting them in a story where it's not true to a real life story, you take all these amazing stories and make great movies out of them.
Yeah.
Like, I've over the
Well, not
past
just-
few weeks, I've just heard a bunch of really great stories. I'm like, that should be a
That
movie.
should be a movie.
And it
Yeah.
includes
I know.
all sorts of people.
Not
not
let's
just-
rerun Cinderella and Jesus.
And that's
Yeah.
the thing is like here's the funniest part of that. Like you said, it's not just like I feel. It's like look at profit margins for these companies
Heck
ever
yeah.
since they started making
Heck yeah.
all these diversity
Bro,
castings
Disney is
and
losing
things
like
that.
15 billion a
or they
month
lost
or
their spot to
something.
Warner Bros for the top
Yeah.
production company.
No
which
one
is
loses
crazy.
to Warner Bros.
Disney. Well, okay,
It's
Disney
Warner
doesn't lose
Bros.
to anybody. That's wild.
Yeah.
Disney doesn't lose to anybody. So that's crazy. Is like you can tell. I think a majority of people agree with you there. It's like they want
Well,
good stories.
It's like
They don't
you
want
might be like a
diversity
big
shoved
fan
down
of
their throat.
diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Yeah.
But are you gonna watch a movie about Black Panther with an Asian dude? No.
Probably not.
You're gonna watch a movie about Black Panther with the man, the myth, the legend, Chadwick Boseman.
Dude, Chadwick crushed
Dude,
that
Chadwick
role.
I
frickin'
wish he was
Boseman.
still alive.
Yeah,
I mean, I
that's
know a
sad
lot
when
of
he
people
died.
probably also wish that, but
Yeah.
like he was so good. And
Also, I love Michael B. Jordan. Like
Michael B. Jordan was
the rivalry in
savage
the
in
movie was
Yeah, it was kinda savage in
crazy.
that.
The fight scene on the waterfall.
Two of probably
so
the
good.
most attractive black men on planet Earth. Let's be
well,
honest.
that
Well,
you
I
know.
don't
I
know.
mean, I'm about to go and find a lot
You
of
find
black
a lot of
people.
them?
We'll find out. I'll send you
Okay.
pictures of attractive black men.
So the thing
Okay.
is, the fight.
Not
scene-
exactly
one's
what
an
I was
8
saying,
out of
but
10.
I was kind of trying to be platonic there. But sorry, Luke, go ahead.
Well, anyway, the fight scene on the waterfall.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
saw
yeah.
the behind the scenes of it. They used very little CGI, and
yeah.
a lot of the moves were actually real.
That's what they
This is
do with a lot of
impress-
Marvel movies. They just shoot it in such a way where like they don't actually hit the person,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but they'll shoot it in such a way that it looks like they did, or they'll like purposefully like cut on the hit so it doesn't, it doesn't have
Yeah.
that same.
Yeah.
um,
Yeah, the editing is crazy, but also the fact that
it's on
they
like
spent months learning
oh yeah,
the moves. Like
Yeah,
you did this
the
with John Wick.
choreography.
What's
Keanu Reeves.
Keanu Reeves is one of the best marksmen in all of Hollywood.
Oh, yeah.
And he may even, well, I mean, he's probably like top 5. I don't know this for sure, but if you see the videos of him going through hypothetical tactical
He's John Wick in
simulations,
real life too.
he pretty much is.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
The gun range he trains at, he has one of the fastest speeds with the highest accuracy that has
On, like, the
ever
course,
been
yeah.
set there.
No,
Yeah,
That's
it's
crazy.
insane.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's just because like that's who he is. Keanu Reeves is such a cool guy.
Such a cool dude, especially like going from Bill and Ted all the way to
Bill and
John
Ted to The Matrix to
John
John Wick
Wick.
to
span right there,
SpongeBob.
that's
the man was
he's
in
done it all.
SpongeBob.
He's done it all. I
Yeah.
forgot about that one. That's
And
crazy.
he turned down a Marvel contract and then did SpongeBob.
He's like,
Like,
yeah, Marvel's not good enough for me,
His
but
money is
SpongeBob.
no matter to him.
I feel like he's the most unique story in Hollywood. He's had family members die. He's given millions and millions to charity. He's like the most generous guy ever.
yeah.
Super humble. Like there are pictures of him after he's made his millions on movies. He'll ride his motorcycle around, or he'll take the subway just like a regular
Have you
dude.
seen the video where he's like sitting on the subway and this lady walks in and she's kind of looking around and he like offers his seat to her?
Yeah.
Like
No,
he
I
could
saw that
buy
video.
That's
her and her
crazy, yeah.
family, and he's offering his seat to her.
Yeah.
He's just
I love
such
that's
a
your
nice
go-to
guy.
offer. I thought you were gonna say he could buy them a car, and you're just like, no, he could buy her and her family.
Yeah.
But no. Yeah.
Yeah,
That
they're
is
also
wild.
making a new Lord of the Rings, or they're
I saw
working
this.
on that. I think.
I haven't seen any like details yet.
Yeah.
But
They made what was the thing Amazon did? Where they
yeah, the Rings of Power. Right?
Rings of Power.
Something called Rings of
They
Power.
Something like
spent
that.
$800 million on the VFX.
That's wild.
That is
And they
not okay.
spent like 125, or it's like
Wait, what-
1.25 billion on just the rights.
Oh yeah,
That's crazy.
What was the total budget for it? $2 billion?
Gotta be somewhere
it's
around there.
Crazy. I
Gotta be
can
crazy.
look it up.
I was
but-
gonna say yeah.
Yeah, but no,
Because that's
and they
a
did
wild
not
number.
like earn enough to make it worth it. Like I
There's
don't
no
I
way.
don't know anyone who watched that.
I watched a few episodes. I got kind of disinterested. The actress who played Galadriel
Oh yeah.
just wasn't that interesting.
I heard she wasn't very compelling because it was like Galadriel.
She wasn't
Yeah,
very
it
compelling,
wasn't
and
a
wasn't she like
and it
most of
wasn't-
the show?
Yeah, she was in a lot of the show.
Yeah.
It wasn't like anything about her as an actress, but it's just like
the
the
character.
storyline wasn't compelling to
Yeah.
me.
and I heard
And I
one
didn't
the
understand
worst
a whole
part-
lot about her background.
And kind of going back to your point of like telling good stories and like staying consistent with the stories, they completely like switched up what made Galadriel so dope because she was like this mysterious kind of like goddess figure who is
Yeah.
incredibly powerful with magic in the book.
Yeah,
and
you
then the Lord
show
of the
too
Rings
Yeah.
much and you lose the effect.
Yeah, and then you
can't,
also
like there's a
well,
there's
they
a lot of
changed her
power in
too.
not,
They tried to make her like a ninja.
Yeah, she didn't
And
have
she's
any
like-
she's
magical
not a
power.
ninja.
A magic
She is not
That's
like
goddess.
I think
She's
that's the
not a
thing.
ninja.
this is what you said before. Stick to the freaking story.
And
Yeah.
the story, like, if she had magical powers, that would be sick.
Yeah, if
And
she,
the thing
imagine
is,
if she's climbing that ice wall, because I saw this in the preview. Imagine if she's doing that with magic or like flying up that. That'd be sick.
Yeah.
If they computerized that
The
in the right
budget
way.
was just over $1 million. Sorry, $1 billion.
That is crazy.
Well,
Yeah.
That's crazy. And
Well,
then
you
the
could
rice
solve
was
world
another
hunger with
billion.
that.
No, they made a crappy TV show that no one likes instead.
Yeah. Boom, baby. Capitalism, suckers.
The coolest
and
part of
meanwhile,
the sh-
they're all just like, we hate capitalism, but we're also going to
But we're
spend
also-
$2 billion
we
on a
live
show
in
no one
capitalism.
wants.
The coolest part of the show, though, was the cinematography
Oh,
and the
that does
spots
sound
that
I
they
didn't see
filmed
that yet.
it.
Have you
It was
seen
crazy.
Have you seen The Reacher?
No,
yeah,
not yet.
You should-
Reacher's crazy.
The first season was real good.
yeah.
The second season, they're on episode 7, which I watched last night. Very good.
Really?
Yeah, like it's surprising, given that it came from Amazon. The guys almost always beat up the girls.
Yes.
I'm just saying it's realistic.
Keep it up, man.
I liked all the
But, like,
characters.
The
So-
characters are good. The story is good. They stuck to the original story.
What is the original story?
It's
I
Lee Child's. He has like a bunch of each
Is that a
season
comic
is,
strip?
Each
It's
season
called-
is
The book is Trouble and something. They play it in
Yeah.
the credits all the time. It's
okay,
like
so it's not a comic strip. It's
Nothing
like
But
a
Trouble
book
or-
series
no.
or something.
yeah.
No,
it's
it's a yeah.
book series.
It's a book that Lee Child wrote.
But like without too many spoilers, this might be a spoiler for season 1.
Ah.
Kind of is. But he goes to this town, Margrave, and this is all in episode 1. He gets accused of murder, but then he's like, just look at the bus security tapes. I was on this bus. You know, that's my alibi. They check it out. They're like, okay, you are innocent. But right at that time, somebody comes in with a false confession that they did it. And Reacher, he used to work for Special Investigators, so he's on top of it. He like has super detective skills.
Oh.
He's so smart. He's also
He's-
super jacked.
Yeah.
But he tells the cop, he's like, no, that guy didn't do it. He would never be able to pull off this
Yeah. He
murder.
basically like
He was like, It was 4 men in a field, highly trained. One of them was a marksman. One of them was the getaway driver. He tells them all these things and tells them exactly why based on the evidence. And then he tells the cop, he's like, "You're divorced. You quit smoking 6 months ago." Like all this stuff. And
He gets like most of it right.
Most of it is
His wife died.
spot on.
But
Yeah, his wife
other
ends up.
than that.
His wife
Oh,
died,
geez.
which is a spoiler.
Yeah,
But
if you haven't seen Reacher season 1 by now, what are you doing?
the only thing is
I was gonna say.
the scenes of like when they show the dead body scene are very graphic and realistic, and also there's full.
That's because they
nudity.
used an actual dead body.
Are you
Like they
serious?
actually got someone from the
No,
morgue.
really?
They got a dead body from the morgue.
Yeah.
for the
That's
show.
dark.
No, of course they didn't.
Okay,
Oh,
dude,
okay.
I was like, how is that
I thought you
legal?
were serious. That was really well played.
No, but
I was
but,
like, holy crap. Dude,
but
that
it
is
Yeah, of
is-
course it's
wild.
realistic. They shot someone in the back
They
of the head and
literally
then
shot
put him
someone
there.
in the back of the head, and that was his dead
No,
body.
but-
It's called Bad Luck and Trouble
bad luck and
Oh,
trouble.
Bad
yeah.
Luck and
by Lee Childs.
But it is. You definitely want to either watch it with something on or just be aware that there's some questionable
You can
scenes.
see
Okay.
the
So watch it with someone else.
there's like
Not.
watch it with someone else,
Yeah.
but there's like one scene at one point, but it shows like at the beginning it has like the like it has like graphic language or some language, graphic violence, and then it'll say like on one episode it's like sexual content, and then you
Okay.
can just scroll through it and be like, that's where it is. Go
Nice.
back to the beginning
And know where to
just
where
know where to
and
skip.
know- Nice.
It's pretty obvious though, because they're like the guy and the girl are in a hotel together,
Mhm.
because
You're, yeah.
and you're like, well, I think I know what
They're
happens.
playing Monopoly,
next.
folks.
Yeah.
Go fish.
It's like, I
skip
think
forward
I
to
know
the
what we're
next
gonna.
8 hours.
I think I know what we're gonna do next. Smash Bros, baby.
Heck yeah.
That's how-
Did you bring your Nintendo?
Do you have your Nintendo?
No, but there actually was the first scene of Reacher in a hotel room with another girl was completely platonic. They actually were playing cards.
Oh yeah.
And that was it.
That was-
Which
That's hilarious.
just cracked
That's
me up.
hilarious. Yeah, yeah.
There was nothing that happened.
That-
Luke's
no,
just
that's
laughing
the
while they're-
second series. So he has like this girl that he worked with in the military, and
Yeah.
and he and her like zero sexual tension,
Yeah.
which is great. So they at one point in season 2, they're like staying in a hotel and they're just sitting on the floor together in her bedroom playing like poker or something or whatever. They're playing some card game, and like nothing happens. Like not even like a hint of something bad is gonna happen. Like they're just sitting there and you're just, it's like,
It's like,
a
no, we're
totally
actually
like this
playing
is
cards.
totally normal. It's like
So
thank you.
Reacher
Please do
reminds me
more.
of another show called The Terminal List with Chris Pratt. Have y'all seen it?
I
not.
think I
I've not.
saw the adverts for it. Bro, Chris Pratt is in everything.
So this
Especially
one was
Amazon movies and
crazy.
Oh
shows.
my word. He's
You
in
learn all
so
this in
many.
season 1. It's also a spoiler for The Terminal List a little bit. But the storyline goes his military squadron was having illegal tests done on them with a certain kind of drug, and it wasn't cleared. But then all of them started to develop some sort of tumor in their brain.
Well, that's not
So they fed them bad intelligence and essentially made it where the whole squadron would get ambushed and killed, and everybody got killed except for him.
because he wasn't taking
and-
drugs.
No, he was. He had the tumor. They were trying to kill them, so they killed all the evidence overseas, so nobody could come. So they wouldn't come back, and then they're like, everybody here has a tumor in the same spot, and then they go and figure out the drug company was doing this bad thing. Anyway, but he survives, and he figures it out, and they're trying to like gaslight him, make him think that they were fed good intelligence. He's like, no, this was a setup. I'm gonna find who did it, and he like starts peeling back the layers, and then he ends up just going on a killing spree over the next
thing
few
is,
episodes.
that's
It
with
sounds
all of his
sick,
tactical
but
background.
I can't imagine Chris Pratt
Okay,
Really?
but in
doing that
it
because like
makes
he's just so
sense.
like he looks like a teddy bear, and like I
He's-
feel like
dude,
if I
he's-
hugged
He's
him,
a
he'd
good
be
actor, good
squishy.
enough actor though. Like you know, in
He's
I know,
jacked
but he's
in this
not like he doesn't
one.
have like the look of a trained killer.
But I mean, like I feel like the way that it kind of got me into believing that with Chris Pratt was Guardians of the Galaxy, because he switched so much between like the comedian and then the fighting Chris Pratt that it was like I can believe him killing people.
Yeah, but even then he was like the comedian was
That's
was
true.
also.
It was dominant. The comedian.
It's like
Sure.
like if you saw Jason Statham, if Jason Statham was doing that show, it'd be like, okay, this makes sense.
Yeah.
Because like he seems like a guy who could actually kill someone.
In this one, they play it off as he's almost a small town, like almost country guy, or like maybe he comes from a farming community, and he joins the military that's the feel that it has to it.
Mm.
And he's also super jacked for it. I feel like there was another movie before where he
Nice.
trained a whole bunch.
Yes.
Anyway, well, maybe not like super,
Luke's
but
like-
military.
Farming,
views shows
killing
and their
people,
prestige based
jacked
on
men.
who is jacked and how jacked
So,
he is.
jacked.
so
That's why
that puts
Reacher
Reacher at number
Reacher's
one.
number one
I was
because
gonna
that
say,
man. Do you know he was natural
he's
for
built-
season 1?
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Was he
No.
not natural for
He
season 2?
took testosterone for season 2.
Why he didn't have
he
to?
took
I was gonna
testosterone
say he was
replacement.
so jacked.
Because he took the replacement because he was like dying and he was like
Really?
horribly tired and
Just because of
couldn't
how
do
much he
anything.
was working.
Because he was working out like 6 hours a day every day.
Jeez.
And so he took testosterone replacement after season 1 finished filming,
Yeah.
so that he could, get his
Have a normal life.
Yeah,
As well
and
as being
so-
jacked.
But yeah, and then he just kept working out, and now he put on like 20 pounds of muscle for season 2. He
Yeah,
is so
he did look
large,
bigger.
it's unreal.
That's
like
wild. That's wild.
Anyway, I recommend you watch the show with a friend.
Yeah.
And beware. But
So-
it's not woke, which is great.
Yeah.
That's what we
It's
want.
just a straight up.
Like it's a good
I
story.
also feel like all the
decent
characters
show.
are really realistic.
Yeah.
Especially season 1. I love the relationship between Reacher and then the
Finley?
Finley
Yeah, yeah.
with the tweed.
Yeah.
And then also the female cop, I forget her name.
Roscoe?
Roscoe. Okay, so Reacher, Roscoe, and Finley was the funniest trio. And then
they were like two like dogs fighting, and she's like the mom, and she'll just show up and be like, "Hey, stop it!
she,
You
like,
go over
followed
there.
around.
You
She's,
go
like,
over there."
babysitting him. Yeah.
And Reacher, who is like this 250-pound jacked 6'4" dude, is like looking down at this like 5'2" skinny little woman, and she's like, "Go over there," and he's like, "Okay."
He's like, okay, I won't do
Yes,
that.
mommy.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a good series. But you know what I miss is the Hollywood strikes. The whole
yeah.
summer.
That
Didn't
yeah.
have anything, and I'm honestly,
It was kind of.
it was
a
nice.
time.
It was
Especially
nice.
like all the late night shows weren't playing.
Late night
You
shows
didn't
were
have
playing.
all the opinionated, stupid like.
Yeah.
I don't mind people having opinions and talking about them on their shows because that's kind of what they're
Yeah.
there for. But at the same time, like being so demeaning and like,
Oh, yeah.
you fools, you don't believe what I
You're
believe.
idiots.
You're so
Yeah.
simple.
No, it was nice because
Oh, no.
like you like we had the Hollywood strikes, and it was suddenly like no one was entertained by all these movies. So you kind of people either decided to go entertain themselves elsewhere, like on YouTube, and then you're supporting smaller creators, and that I think is a good thing as a general rule. Or people decided, okay, well maybe I should read a book or something, which probably that was like 4 people.
Yeah.
But for those 4 people, it was very good, just because there were no movies coming out, and so it's like, all right, you've got to find a way to, because everyone needs entertainment, and so you've got to find a way to entertain yourself that is not watching a woke movie.
Yeah.
All right, well, timer's going. We'll take a
Bye-bye.
quick break.
We'll be
After that,
back.
we're going to talk about airplanes losing their doors.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Airplanes.
I know somebody who was supposed to be on that flight but missed it.
Really?
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, introducing the Joe Rogan Experience intro.
Okay, so
Fake
this
it
is
till you
Nick
make
Diaz.
it, baby.
That's not the right.
So I'm pretty sure that's where it came from, though.
Yeah.
Oh.
The
Gotcha,
voice
gotcha.
clip is from some like actually a UFC
It's from
event.
Nate Diaz. He's like, I think it's after a fight, and Joe Rogan goes to interview him, and then Nate Diaz grabs the mic and he's like, Joe
Rogan podcast.
Yeah, pass by night all day. And then he goes in on the Joe Rogan podcast. He's like, dun, 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 dun,
Yeah, and then you had music,
kinda sick.
and it's all
and then
very fun.
it fades in, and he's like, "Hello there." And he's talking to like this.
It sounded
Yeah,
like
So I
it sounded like
Hello
some
there.
Lord of the Rings or something. Not like
I love how
Obi-Wan Kenobi. Hello there.
I love how Rogan could be interviewing like the smartest like astrophysicist from Harvard who's
Yeah.
done 20 years or like 40
He
years of
interviews like
research
Jordan
something.
Peterson. He's like, "What's up, my guy? How
He's,
are you?"
he's like, what's
Jordan's
going
like,
on?
"I've been good. I've been thinking a lot."
I've been thinking a lot,
You know the cosmos.
So much
it,
better.
it comes and goes in these seasons, and in the cosmos. He says the cosmos a lot.
He said does
The cosmos. What else does he
And
say?
the universe.
Lobsters. You forgot about the lobsters.
And then Joe Rogan chimes in. He's like, "Dude, you see that ape who did DMT at that zoo and ripped off that guy's face?" He's like, "No, pull that up, Jamie. Pull that
What
up."
we learn from that is
I love that concept.
there's an alpha, and there's a beta, and the alpha has way more like you've got it's
The alpha is clearly dominant, you know.
clearly
Oh,
dominant.
the voice crack.
And he feels the confidence to go out and I don't know why I turned Irish.
And then Rogan's like,
Rogan's
he's
just
like,
it's just the shrooms, man.
yeah.
Did you see the one with Ben Shapiro where he kept trying to get him to smoke?
She kept trying to
do
get Ben to
weed?
smoke.
Yeah.
Oh, Shapiro, that's funny.
And so he's like, "Have you ever done weed?" And Ben's like, "No, I haven't." And he's like, "Do you want to do weed?" And Ben's like, "No, I don't." And then like 3 minutes later, he's like, "Do you want to smoke marijuana?" He just keeps asking. And Ben Shapiro's like, "No, I do not want to smoke marijuana. Please stop."
that would be something I would pay to see.
Yeah, it was
Have
funny.
Ben Shapiro like speaking at a normal speed because he's high, but it just sounds like a normal person.
I
was
wonder.
Also, factually, you have to think about the fact that everybody in this room, blah, 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 and so he's
He's
on,
like,
on shrooms.
so factually,
Factually.
my wife, law school.
Uh-huh.
Anyway,
Wait, is his wife a doctor or an attorney?
she's like, I think she's a doctor.
Okay.
She's a doctor. He was in a law
Oh,
school.
he was law school. Okay.
Yeah, he was
Yeah. It's impressive.
Both
Yeah.
smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some,
All right. Did you guys see the CES, like that big tech conference? The one with the Samsung had that screen
yes,
that was
yeah,
like,
the
Oh, yeah,
see-through
yeah.
LED screen.
yeah,
That is wild.
that was sick.
I don't understand how that works still
Me
because
neither.
it's like, or still, like if you put that in an office and you're trying to like work on it or watch something on it,
I'm just imagining
What's
the
the point of having it
possibilities for, like,
see-through?
windows. Like
Yeah.
you could like it'd be so funny because you could put them up as windows and
Yeah.
put like nature playing on it and then just have birds hitting it all the time and dying because they're like, oh look, it's a continuation of nature.
that would actually
Bam!
be so funny to like freak someone out. You have someone in your office and then you just like simulate through speakers in the window, just this bird going.
Okay, so the way
falling
I
down.
imagine it
Way to
is it's a window, but you have some sort of technology that views space, or at least what you're viewing through the window, and maybe it can display what star, like what constellations are where, and like you're looking through the TV, right? It's your window and you see things past it, but like the TV could circle a certain star and have a little thing that says, oh, this is, or
That'd be
like this
sick.
is Orion's belt or
That
something,
would
or
be
like
That would be sick.
this is the
That'd be
Milky
super
Way and it
dope.
tells you stuff about it, or I don't know, maybe it could show you different things,
That'd
and
be super
I don't know.
dope.
Yeah.
Or like even on windshields, I have a feeling this won't actually
That
happen,
would
but
be-
it could. Where it, the blue line on maps.
Yeah.
What if you looking through
Well, you
your
could do the
windshield,
blue
that
line.
was on the road,
Bro, that would be
okay,
sick.
that would actually.
and
be
it tells you
sick.
where to go, and it like has the arrow for the turn,
Yeah.
and like when you merge, it's not like delayed; it's just instant. And
Because it
I'm
shows
sure,
you exactly where you should start merging and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Oh,
that
that'd
would
be awesome.
actually be cool.
but by that time, we'll probably have self-driving cars that are good
Yeah,
enough for everybody.
at that point,
Oh, I
Elon
want a
Musk is
self-driving
the
car,
king
though.
of the world. And
Okay,
we
come
all
on now,
serve
though.
his
Are you in
Empire.
favor or against self-driving cars?
Dude, totally in favor.
I'm in
Are you
favor
serious?
until Klaus Schwab is like, you will be in a self-driving car and it will drive you to the airport in your 15-minute city. And then we will all say, Heil Klaus Schwab together.
No, see, that's my problem with it is I like, of course, having a self-driving car sounds really cool, but it's like the principle of like safety versus or freedom versus safety, right?
Yeah.
Like how easy, people can hack anything nowadays. So how unsafe? I don't know.
This is
To
why
have
I'm
a
not a
car-
fan of Neuralink. Imagine your
Yes.
brain is being hacked.
Literally, your brain is.
Yeah.
Or like a self-driving car. Imagine you've had a self-driving car for 5 years. You're just going on a normal trip to church Sunday morning. All of a sudden, this idiot hacks your car and starts driving you into buildings, and your kids are in the back.
Well, you only get one building and then
No
you're kinda
choice.
done.
Probably, but that's my point.
Unless
is
it's like a Cybertruck. Which
That's
you
true.
could probably
I'd
hit
be
a second
probably
interested
take
too.
multiple buildings.
Yeah.
I'd be
It depends
interested
on
in
the size. You could hit, like,
likelihood that
4
it
hot
could be
dogs down.
hacked, because planes aren't hacked, but they use AI.
Well, they use
But it's
AI,
not-
but the pilot can take over manually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that would be interesting as a dual. But you think about how much, like, I guess the hacking is interesting. If that were to become a non-issue, then the rest of the automation just makes sense. So, like, stock trading, humans can't take in all that information. Well, I guess they can to some extent, but they rely heavily on algorithms to inform them and even make decisions for them.
Yeah.
And now there are computer models that run investments extremely well for investment firms and hedge funds. So that's automated by computers. There are so many other things that we've seen automation come into, like lane departure assist. Before we used to change our gears, now a lot of
You
cars
have like
change
the
it
little
for us.
on new cars. They have like the little like yellow thing on your windshield.
Yeah,
like,
the yellow thing.
the side view mirror.
Or like auto braking. The thing is,
My car
if
has
those
auto-braking.
are
It's
super
called
helpful,
The back bumper of the person in front of me's car.
and it automatically brakes and you. No, but like
It auto brakes
or
the
like
back bumper of their car.
all the different ways that things have become automated.
Yeah.
If we can continue, like let's say we're in level 2 automation in cars, if we can continue level 3, 4, and then eventually 5 full complete automation, then it just seems like the natural progression. And the more things humans have automated, the less our brain has to worry about doing manually, the more our brains are freed up for other tasks.
Yeah.
But the problem with that, in my opinion, is it removes the excitement, like the fun, and then also like the creativity of humanity. Because, like, for example, I was listening to a podcast while I was driving the other day, and it was talking about the AI created songs and AI created art,
bro.
and how everything is lifeless, everything is dreary,
Yeah.
everything is about how nature and humanity is boring and dull and pointless. And like literally the first AI created song was about how life sucks, and like life has no
Have you
point.
seen that?
And so I think that's the problem with full automation and full AI is it takes out
The,
truly
thi-
beauty
the,
of
the
humanity.
difference
I
that
think.
humans
Maybe.
will always have is
I
we'll
think.
always have a soul.
So,
And
and
that
I think that's
differentiates us.
important. Is I think of it less in the sense of like AI making songs. I think that's one of the areas in which humans excel. I think of it more as like AI manning the machines and making
Did you
hoods
see the?
for
Did
us.
you see the?
But then we're
Amazon
freed up
machine,
to be
though,
artistic.
That, like, ran the math as it was working on whether it was worth it for the machine to keep doing this, and then it just
Really?
killed itself because it was like,
Oh, so
it was
I-
like, this is not worth it. I'm going to spend more
Yeah.
time doing this than I will receive like a benefit. And
So-
so it just killed itself.
I heard
That is
recently I was,
Which
I was
is
listening,
hilarious.
I was
by the
listening
way.
to an audiobook by
Crazy.
this. He's an
And also
extremely
makes so much sense for like the suicide crisis.
I was listening to this audiobook from this extremely intelligent founder, and he's very interested in AI and automation. And he was talking about how in the somewhat earlier days, and keep in mind, this is like within the past 5-10 years, sometimes even sooner, in training different AI models on certain tasks or like trying to get it to complete a complex problem, they would give it certain parameters, and sometimes it would find a loophole that wasn't barred against by the parameters that it gave it, because it's a machine. It doesn't have like all the extra background a human mind might, so you have to tell it everything that it can and can't do sometimes. And so there was a situation where I was trying to figure out how to do this thing, and it was like, oh, if I just short circuit myself, the game is over. He was like, because it didn't see a path forward. It was like, if I just short circuit, then like I will have technically completed the task.
That's
but then
hilarious.
also it just short circuits and it doesn't like actually move
So
forward.
it's like, oh, I'm done with the task.
It's so yeah, just short
Congratulations.
circuited.
You're
It was
done.
really, and he said it was the funniest thing, but it was super eye opening for their development team. Because one, they knew they had to explain every single parameter even better. And then two is they just lack context in some situations. And of course, AI's moved on from there. Anyway, but I view it less as like AI writing the dialogue in our movies, because it's definitely not there yet. And I'm not sure it'll be there for a while. And more so, let's say I envision a human saying, I want this thing to be produced. The AI knows how to communicate human speech into what can be communicated to some sort of robot or machine. The machine creates that product and gives
Like
it to the
3D printing.
human.
Yeah.
Somewhat, but like think about how much code goes into communicating what a human wants to what a machine can do.
Yeah.
Like you have to communicate somehow with the machine. What if human speech went through an AI filter and the AI communicated with the machine for you and communicated perfectly and exactly what you needed? And even it could solve more complex problems, things that require levels of information humans can't comprehend.
No, it's
I
true.
envision it doing
I
that,
just-
but like
I hesitate to give it like control over things that it's unnecessary. Similar, like almost to driving, in the sense of like it also just takes the fun out of it in the sense of like, you can't do your shortcuts. You can't do your,
yeah,
long
but there
drives,
will
you can't do
be like there's always going to be new hills to conquer, and
I
like
know,
and this will
yeah.
just
It
if
just seems like
if someone the first man to
takes a lot
ever
of the fun out of
walk
life.
up a hill was like, oh boy, I've made it to the top. Then a guy rode a horse up a hill, and he's like, well, now I can climb a
Get
bigger
there
hill.
faster. Yeah.
I can get there faster. I can find a bigger hill and climb that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But
this is
also
just
s-
like another tool.
Somebody could make the same argument, like now you're driving up the hill that takes the fun out of walking or riding a horse.
Exactly.
I think
But at the same,
it just depends on personal preference, and
it
also
does.
it
I
could
think
be like a mixture of, let's say you're on a long road trip, you just let AI take the wheel for a bit, and then you hop back on if you want to.
Yeah, there has to be some sort of like manual switch where you can physically
Yeah.
override it so that you don't get locked out of your
It'd be
car.
interesting, yeah.
Yeah, but I think the best like example of use of AI that I've seen is in Dune. I really liked where they went with it because like AI was like, it was clear that robots and machines were present and that they were running many of the things in the background, but they weren't like in your face all the time. It was more back to their roots. So like the light that like follows them around is
Oh, that was kinda
clearly
cool.
clearly not a human with a stick, right? So but
Yeah.
at the same time, they're not overwhelmed by screens and things in their face all the time, images and whatnot.
Yeah.
One
Which was
thing, one of
really
my least favorite things with, I guess it's not so much tech as it is products that have been implemented in tech, but is all the overload of information now, like the different channels of communication, all the like advertisements and stuff. It's just everything coming at you all the time, nonstop, every day.
Everything
Like
everywhere all at
email,
once.
yeah. Well, that movie was interesting, but there's just like so much information, media, news, text, email, work communications, all the notifications from your different apps. I just wish there was a way to simplify all of it way
Yeah.
down.
Did you see the new
There's too much.
that new Rabbit phone, the R1 phone?
I was like, what the heck
That
is
is
that?
crazy. Have you looked into it at all?
No.
So it's very interesting. This like Chinese tech company or some Asian tech company. I don't know which Asian
Probably
tech company,
Taiwan.
but something. But so they're basically, that's exactly the problem they're trying to solve, is there's too much like interface basically, and they're like, we just need to simplify it. Why are there so many apps? Why are there so many things for you to swipe through and tap on your phone? This is part of the reason why you're so distracted on your phone all the time, because there's so much work you have to do on it.
Yeah.
So basically they created this block that's like kind of more of a square instead of the rectangle, and it's kind of like a 3x3 maybe inches or 4x4
Yeah.
inches square, and it's just this chunk that has a manual scroller instead of swiping on the screen, but you can still use the screen. It's just like a manual scroller, so it's not as much like, you're always trying to swipe through stuff. And then a camera, and that's just about it. But all it does is you hold the scroller as a button, I think, or maybe there's a button on the side, and you just talk to it, and you're like, hey, play this song, and it'll play the song using your Spotify. Or it'll be like, hey, who directed this movie? And it'll tell you, hey, who did this? So it's basically like using an AI like Siri or Alexa to do every task in the phone, and it's just that is the phone, is an AI. Very interesting.
I feel like that works in some use cases.
Yeah.
So to me, it seems a little bit like a dumbed down phone, but with a really essentially ChatGPT replacing Siri.
That's kind of their point, though, is like we're too distracted by our phones. We're too like everybody kind of is coming to that realization now that humans are too much on the screens. It's bad for your eyes. It's bad for your brain.
Yeah.
So like, how do we solve that problem but still have the same functionality? Still have the same
Go out there and meet a
tech?
human.
Well, that's the starter.
Yeah.
But I think that was one of their solutions too, is if you are going to be using devices more, why not remove how much you need to be interacting with the screen?
Yeah.
And I thought it was
All right,
interesting.
I'm gonna go to the restroom real quick.
All right.
Sounds good.
Should probably turn off the microphone for that.
Yeah.
No.
Hey Joe Biden, the economy's falling apart. Everyone hates you, and your son is currently on his way to being deported.
So, how likely is it that Hunter gets behind bars?
Realistically, it depends on who becomes president next.
Yes, that's actually
It's true.
Yeah. because the likelihood that he should be behind bars is 100%. Because that man,
So, what exactly is he on trial for? Because I know there's stuff about him.
I think it's the Russia thing, because he's been running around spending a lot of money on immoral things. But I think it's the Russia situation, or the selling information, that is getting him in trouble now, or being associated with.
Is that
making money
technically
from-
treason?
I don't know.
It should be.
I think it should be, but yeah,
It's crazy.
it's not great. Whatever it is.
Dude, I had the best meal this morning for breakfast.
What'd you have?
So I didn't have a whole bunch of breakfast food stuff. So I had it was a rice beef bowl with sautéed mushroom, jalapeno, some cheese, and fresh homemade salsa. It was like kind of spicy salsa. It was so good.
That sounds very good.
Yeah, it was super tasty.
That sounds
Really
amazing.
hits the spot.
I
Yeah.
had a protein shake and a muffin. Because
That sounds good.
yeah, I worked
So I
out
have this
and had protein
banana
shake and muffin.
muffin recipe, and I'll make like 40-ish bananas at a time and just keep a few bags in the freezer and a couple in the fridge. And dude, I go ham on those. Any morning where I don't have any food, or if I want a snack, you heat up in the microwave. I feel like muffins are the easiest snack.
Yeah, muffins are nice because you can leave them at room temperature too.
Yeah,
So it's like a quick and easy, especially if you fill them with like things that are good for you.
yeah. So we're having steaks after this.
Yep.
Are you cooking them?
Oh yeah.
So are we do you do steaks on the grill, or do you do Gordon
No.
Ramsay style pan seared?
Especially not right now. I'm not a big grill person at minus 15 degrees outside.
Yeah.
Hey, what happened to
work out.
global warming? Can we just address that? Where is it?
I would
Is it
love
not
some
working?
global warming
it's
right
the,
now.
It's the
Working.
coldest it's been here in like 5 years.
Really?
What happened?
Broke.
What's funny
Greta,
is
Greta,
is,
explain.
is negative 18 for here isn't even like that crazy of a stat. It's
It's
like
kinda crazy.
like
Well,
it's a
it's-
little bit, but they're like, oh, we had negative.
It's slightly out of the
30
ordinary.
Yeah.
back in the day.
And especially like compared to last year, like last year was one of the mildest winters ever. So now all
Yeah.
of a sudden it's like
Yeah, last year we had
It's
like
-3
4
in the
snowflakes
middle of
showed
the
up
day.
and hid themselves because they were ashamed.
they were ashamed.
Now
Yeah.
we have negative 15. It's been snowing all week, and it's only January, and usually February is worse than January. But I
plowed
won't be
the-
here. I'll be in Africa, and I will be nice and warm.
Yeah,
Waka,
Africa.
waka,
What's
hey,
the expected temperature?
They have their lowest temperature is like in the 60s, and their highest temperature is in the 90s.
Are you serious? Dang. That's not bad.
It's not bad.
Because
It's
that's
not
very
horrible.
like middle of the road.
So
I
their
the
summer
UV
is
rays?
like our summer, but it's a lot more humid.
was gonna say probably humid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like there's so many things to be excited about. But if I were going, I'd be so excited about just all the outdoor time
Yeah.
because
That will be a ton of fun.
it's
It's-
warmer outside. People, I feel like a lot of activities probably revolve around the outdoors
Yeah.
more. And it's less, the indoors are less developed.
Yep.
So it just gives way to, and also the outdoors are less manicured. Like it's not concrete everywhere like in
Yeah.
the U.S. There, I feel like
You
there are
get
going to be lots of
full-on
hikes,
organic dirt
jungles,
patches.
whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be super cool.
And it's gonna be a lot of fun. It's very different than here in a lot of ways. So I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, no, there's a ton of. I would assume there is a ton of outdoor time because, I mean, what are you gonna do? Sit there and stare at your not
Brick.
TV?
Yeah, TV. Well, you'll have Starlink,
I'll have Starlink.
That's true.
So
so you'll be like
Which-
your house will be
big
the
up
place to
Elon
go.
for,
Yeah,
like,
you're gonna have.
supporting one of like there's like 4 countries in Africa that are supported, and I'm going to one of them. So
thank
I'm
you.
pretty
Yeah.
excited.
So
If
you're
not,
gonna-
you just have to
yep.
get Spectrum.
Luke has a good point here, though. You're gonna be like your house wherever you live is gonna be the place to go because you're gonna have Wi-Fi, and so everyone's gonna be like, hey, "Dude, Jackson, you want to hang out later?"
But I feel like
We'll have
it's gonna be
Wi-Fi
pretty
and then-
developed.
Jackson's place.
where you're going.
We'll be
I've
watch-
seen the
recording
city.
podcasts left, right, and center.
Now, let's go watch the game at Jackson's place.
Yeah. I think they don't watch games. I think they play games over there.
I'm
that's
curious.
fair.
Are you planning any nearby travel with some of the locals once you get there?
I
to
mean, we'll
see
probably
some
go
of the
down
tribes
to
or smaller
Victoria
places?
Falls, which is they're like the biggest falls in Africa, which are
Oh,
pretty
wow.
cool. They're
That's
they're
really,
in
really cool.
Zambia.
Yeah,
So
Zambia.
and then there's like a Livingston Park, which is just like a giant sanctuary with lions and stuff.
Ooh, that's
so
gonna be so dope.
Are there
that would be
any-
sick.
Are there any feuds somewhat local to Zambia? Because I know different tribes can have different feuds.
Yeah, I think Zambia. So at least where I'm staying in Lusaka, which is the capital city. So I think there's it's not as much there. I'm sure if I went out in the back country, if I went to Zimbabwe, which is one country below, I would most likely be raped and murdered. So I'm not going to do that. Anyway, fun times. No, but South Africa and a lot of Africa is very hostile to white people, but Zambia is not, thankfully. So that's why I'm going there, because I'd like to continue living for a little bit at least.
At least a little longer.
Yeah.
At least until you've completed 1 year of African Christian school
Yeah.
education.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool.
It'll be
Like, or African Christian University,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, there
boom,
we go.
baby. I will
Boom,
have
baby.
maybe a degree, but I don't know if they do those.
Do they do AAs? Do you know?
I have no idea.
You have no idea of any.
They, I think it's pretty fast and loose over there. So
Do your NSA credits transfer over?
I
at
think
least?
they do. I mean, I sent
Okay,
them
that's
over, so they have them.
They have them. They better
Doesn't mean they
count.
did anything with
They better
them.
count. They're like, no.
They're like, this is great. You went to another college.
So-
I did not ask.
You showed us pictures of the campus. I
Yeah.
have a feeling they've never even seen a credit transfer before. I don't know if they know how to handle that.
They're like, what the heck is a credit
What is a
transfer?
credit transfer?
Also-
what are credits? Yeah.
What's interesting is I'm not sure how many higher ups they have to talk to get things approved. Like at U of I, they have boards.
I'm pretty
and
sure it's
staff
like,
member and
hey,
whatnot.
are
There's
you
probably
in charge
3
of
people
that?
on faculty.
Sure, I can be now.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
bet that's
so
a big
I-
part of it. Yeah.
I am their first student from the West.
Yeah,
So I'm
the
their
first
first
international.
non-African student. Or,
Yeah.
non-African student. So
Yeah.
anyway,
It's a big
they
culture
are
shock for
still-
both parties.
They're still working on figuring out the whole process because the usual acceptance date is the 26th of January, and the start date of the year is the 2nd of February. So that's like a
have a
that's like a
week.
very tough window if
Yeah.
you're an international student to book tickets and fly over.
Yeah.
Do you know? So how? I was kind of curious. How did this even become a thing for you? Because I remember, gentleman related to the school. I forgot his name.
Bodie Bacham.
But then
There was Lennox Calafungwa.
Lennox. Yes, Lennox, who's
What a
super
name,
cool.
even better
What a
than
guy.
Crash.
I know, right?
Calafungwa?
Calafungwa.
Calafungwa.
pretty cool.
It's a
So,
good
but
name.
he came over. So, how did you get like actually
So I-
interested in going?
Yeah, so I heard about it from Vody, and then I
Yeah.
went and talked to him, and he was like, "You should do it." And then I applied in August because I was like, "Oh, like you apply in August, the school starts in February. That seems pretty reasonable." And they said, "You idiot, we don't take applications till October." And I was like, "Why? Of course." Then Lennox.
Aha, my bad.
Lennox,
silly
and then I
goose.
met with Lennox, and he was like, who's the head of something at the school. He's very his dad
Student
started
affairs
his
or
dad
something?
started it, so he's integral to the school. But I talked to him, and he was like, "We would love to have you. You'll be our first American student. We're very excited." And I was like, "Great." So then I was like, "Let me keep applying," and then they proceeded to not say anything, and then continue not saying anything, and I kept emailing, and then they would
That's
say one
unfortunate.
thing and answer one question of mine, and I'd be like, "Well, I have 18 others." So it's been a whole fun little process, but Lord willing, on the 25th, I will be getting on a plane to fly to a different country. For
Do you
the
have a
first time.
spot to live?
Nope.
Do you where are you gonna go when you land?
I'll stay at a hotel for like the first couple of days with my dad,
Yeah.
and then we'll figure it out.
He's
Yeah.
found some pretty spanking deals on there. He's got like what
So
2 bed,
so
2 bath.
yeah,
with
there was
like
2 bed,
150
2 bed,
bucks?
2 bath. We thought it was. So my dad was like, "Yeah, it's for only 150 a month," and then
crazy.
but he was doing it in Zimbabwean currency.
Ah,
So it's actually like 2,000 a month, but he did it. He got the wrong Z country in Africa, and so he
Oh.
was like, "Wow, this is super cheap for like a really nice looking place."
Yeah.
But no, we'll probably find an apartment somewhere
oh,
else.
okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, because $2,000 a month is somewhat ridiculous,
A little bit,
especially
yeah,
for
but-
2 bed, 2 bath, and I'm one person.
So
I'm
is
not
it
fat
because it was because in Zimbabwe it was cheaper, but
In
in
Zimbabwe-
like the capital of
In Zimbabwe,
Zambia.
the if you take the Zambian amount that they want and then do the unit conversion from Zimbabwean currency, man, it's cheap. But they don't do that, so that makes it trickier. Anyway,
Bummer.
but it's a whole process. Anyway,
Yeah.
exciting.
so it's Rabbit Phone.
Yes.
What? Why? Who? And how?
So it's like a company. I can pull up the.
I've seen the pictures,
tweet.
and I was like,
It's
this
basically
seems like
just it's trying to revolutionize.
Here's the thing. I feel like if you want to do
solo
like
device.
let's not spend our lives on a phone, just delete social media from your phone.
But you
And
still like the
it's true.
point is it has like the functionality of the same functionality with less of the distractions, which I think if they get that right could be a really good balance because like for example, yeah, people like listening to music, they like knowing things, right? They like the information.
Yeah,
So I think like
but
that's
it's also
why
useful. Like, hey, I can look at my bank account on my phone.
I think you could do that too. You just ask it what what is this
Yeah.
thing or the other? What is this?
I think it'd
And
be okay. I wouldn't
think-
like taking on certain things by audio. I
Yeah.
prefer visual, especially for like banking.
Yeah,
Or
It still
videos or-
has a
you're
visual
on the
display.
train and you're like,
Yeah.
hey, Rabbit,
What is my bank
what's,
account?
What's my bank account? And Rabbit's like, your bank account is you've got exactly
Well, I think-
643 bucks, you broke
You-
schmuck.
It
Yeah.
still has a visual display. It'll pull that up. Here, let me try and find that moment in the video. It'll pull up a visual display for you. It just like instead of being you scrolling and you tapping, it immediately goes to the source
Yeah,
and pulls that information up.
I don't
for
know.
you.
I
But
feel like I
think it's
the only
interesting.
apps I have on my phones are ones that I use on a regular basis,
Yeah.
and I don't have any like distraction social media apps, which I feel like that's like the whole purpose of this Rabbit phone. So I will
Yeah.
not be buying one.
It's not no. Well, it's and the other interesting thing is the selling point because it's only $200.
Ooh,
And for a
dang.
phone that
I bet it's here's
essentially-
the thing. I think it's a great phone for like a first time phone.
yeah.
Like if you're 15, and
So
you've-
it's like I don't know if he's showing it. Yeah, right here. See, it's processing, and then it pulls up those words at the bottom, or it'll do that for you.
Huh.
It'll like there's still the display you can.
if
scroll
I was
through.
if
It's
I was
just
like
less
14 and this was my first phone,
apples.
that would be amazing. It's
Interesting.
perfect because there's no distractions, there's no social media, you can't get in any trouble. It's just the things you need: text, phone, email, those kinds of things. Very useful. But as you have, you grow older, you get more and more things on your phone that are integral to like how your business or what you need to
It
do
can-
to
so it does-
be successful.
I think. I mean, I don't fully understand it yet, but I think it does more than like we realize a little bit in the sense of you can also book Ubers on it just by and stuff like so I
Dang.
think it has
That's
the
pretty
full
cool.
functionality of a smartphone. It just is through that it tries to use that voice similar to what you
Yeah.
were talking about, the voice to AI to command your phone to do things rather than you
Yeah.
scrolling tapping.
Is
I
it
feel
like
like the-
nice Uber or is it like you are now ordering a 2001 Honda Civic? And it's like, no,
it'll-
please, I don't
you
want
can-
that.
You can be as specific as you want. Like
Okay.
it was, he asked, what he did is he said, hey, book me an Uber for this time. And it was like, oh, yeah, this is your option. Do you like this option? He said, can you get me an Uber that will fit 6 people and 3 pieces of luggage? And it chose that specific thing. It's like, I would
Interesting.
recommend an Uber
Nice.
X.
But the screen
recommend
only
this.
works once you ask it to.
I think so.
So it's like speakerphone. There's people who are always on speakerphone.
No.
You don't know those people?
Like
No.
people
They
you're
take
wait-
take phones on speakerphone.
Oh, take phone calls,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Similar
like
to that,
that, but like always, and that's the only way to operate your phone. Because that seems kind
maybe
of
so.
dumb.
Maybe so. Yeah, I don't know quite enough about it.
I feel
to
like
know
the
that.
best medium is AI deletes all your unnecessary all unnecessary things coming in, maybe based on what you delete, like emails and whatnot. And then they put all the audio functions into
I think it'd be great
Siri.
if it like showed like if AI you could it reads your patterns and then it's like, all right, you've gotten 8 new emails today. We think you should. We think these are ones you would like to delete. And then you
Yeah.
have a yes or no. Because if it's like, well, actually, I kind of want to read that one, so you unclick it, and then the rest.
That
of it
makes
delete.
sense. Yeah,
That
I can see
actually would
that.
be super dope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same thing with like text. Someone you don't like text
Yeah.
you, so like delete that. Get rid of
unread.
that one. No,
Yep.
Yeah.
left on red. Leave them on
Yeah,
red.
leave them on red.
Do,
Leave it
do
on
I
red,
leave
red,
read
red.
receipts on?
I don't anymore.
Do you leave?
Read receipts?
It's
I don't-
like
I'm not
where
picky.
you look at
I'm not
somebody's
picky. I
text
don't like
and lets them
meticulously
know.
go through and
No,
look. but
I like the conflict if I sit there and I don't read it, and then someone's like, "Hey, why haven't you read my text message?" And I'm like, "Because I don't like you." That's fun.
Yeah.
It adds
gives
spice
him
to
joy.
life.
That's spice.
So-
I like conflict.
Yeah.
Yeah, I only know a few people who have read receipts on where, like, when they click on the message you sent them, it says read,
Yeah.
and it's only a few people, and
I don't know how to turn that off. I'm gonna be completely frank.
Yeah,
Somewhere
is
in the
it
settings, I
It'd
forget.
probably be in messaging settings.
of all the settings that people customize? I think that's the most turned off setting.
Really?
Is read receipts.
It's odd to me though, because it's like I don't personally care. Like if I personally would not be offended if you've read my message and not responded within
Yeah.
a few hours. I'm not like, what the heck is Jackson
Yeah, if
doing?
you're
Yeah.
so insecure that that's
Yeah,
gonna, like,
that's
ruin
gonna
your
make you
day,
mad,
then
that's
you've
gonna
got
ruin your
other
day.
problems. So.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's like I wouldn't be super picky about that, but at the same time, if I don't have them on, then that doesn't matter to me either.
No, I
like-
simply do not
Yeah.
care.
does not
Yeah.
matter.
But speaking of things you should care about, the wings on, or the doors on airplanes are now leaving the chat. So
Yeah, that was crazy.
No longer
What
just
caused
airplanes
it?
are flying, but the doors are
the
flying
doors are
off.
flying too.
What caused the plane
I
to
think they
the door
just
to rip
didn't
off?
tighten the bolts.
Something
So they
like
kind
that.
of like put the door on with super glue, and then the super glue failed or something.
Really?
No.
It wasn't
Okay.
super glue,
I
but
was
there was
like-
some kind of like safety measure or some
Yeah.
of the bolts or something like that just weren't secured right. And it's starting to happen now. And like
Yeah,
to your point, a lot of planes of where like bolts are not being fixed right, proper procedure is not being taken care of because people aren't focusing on proper procedure anymore.
Yeah,
Interesting.
I think it was it Alaska? Or was it United? Whatever company it was, they were
I think
like
it was American.
They were forced to then check all of their other wing or doors because people don't want to
Die.
exit at 30,000 feet, and so they found like 9 other planes that had the same problem,
Whoa.
which is slightly concerning because
That's like thousands of people.
yeah,
And all those flights.
because it's
Or
been that means it's been happening before. But
So
it's
you're
just-
going 500 plus miles per hour, I think.
yeah, around
yeah,
Around
Well, it
there
depends on the
at
plane, yeah.
30,000
30,000 feet
feet
yeah,
elevation.
roughly.
That must have been so extremely cold.
Oh yeah, yeah. They had to like
Whoa.
someone took a video and everyone like they were handing out blankets, and like everyone was.
Because the pilot at that point,
They had to
Probably-
emergency land. I mean, you don't be like,
like,
well, we're
they-
2
well, they
hours
were
into an
said, but they
8-hour
probably
flight. We don't have a
dropped
door.
altitude immediately.
suckers
Dude,
are gonna
imagine
have
if that
to
happened over
hold
the
on.
Atlantic or something. Imagine you're flying
my
to
word.
like
To Britain.
the UK, and they're like, "Sorry, sucker, we're in the middle of the freaking Atlantic. We have to keep flying for another 4 hours."
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
Jeez.
yeah.
Well, I also
You just hope Jimmy doesn't have to go to the bathroom, because then, like, kid, just stand up and pee. It'll go out the door, because you are not going to walk.
I'm also not sure how low they're able to drop altitude for how long. Like, let's say they
Yeah.
were over the Atlantic. I know they always pack extra fuel on the plane.
Can they, like, skim the water? They're, like, 4 feet above the surface of the water.
But like, would they hit turbulence or something? Because I know if
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
too
yeah,
low,
yeah.
it's less efficient
Oh, yeah.
as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it'd be
that's why they
insane.
fly so high over mountains. I mean, just
Yeah.
because the air.
Yeah.
That's how eagles work. They just sit there and they sit on the air currents.
Mm.
And planes those air currents are annoying for planes.
Yeah, interesting.
Anyway, it's good to know that people are now checking on this, because
That's kind of important.
it's
Important feature.
it's a bummer. Planes are, everyone's always like, planes are super safe, and it's
Imagine-
like, well, not if the doors aren't screwed up.
Well, and imagine you're the people that on that flight that you chose the exit rows. They're like, "Yeah, can you perform the function? Like, can you be the person
Are you
that's
gonna
in
be
charge
able
of?"
to open the
Yeah.
door? It's like, I don't have to. It's
You're like,
sucker
"Oh
open
yeah,
for
no."
me.
In your mind, yeah, exactly. In your mind, you're like, "Oh, no worries. Yeah, it's not gonna happen. Nothing's
Dude,
gonna
I got
happen." And then it's just
You just
blows
do the
up.
aisle seat for the extra leg room.
yeah. And then it turns out you're freezing cold because there's an open door for the rest of the flight.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So bad.
but since no one died, it was kind of funny.
A little.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the memes were pretty funny after it too.
Yeah. No, the memes were great. The memes are always great. 2024 has been like a super eventful year. Like,
Yes.
so much has happened, and we're 12 days in. Or
I feel like
whatever.
every year everybody waits and then releases the floodgates for all the crazy stuff at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, because, like, we started off the year with Epstein. And then we had...
Last year?
Oh, that was this year.
Oh, did they release more things?
No, they...
No, but the
The-
docs release was like the first week or two of.
Oh, wow.
My question with
These first
Epstein is,
few
like,
weeks.
what are they hiding? Because they might be hiding nothing. Yeah. But I don't trust them enough to say they're not hiding anything. They're
No, to
just
confidently
releasing
say that.
this because they think it's the right thing to do.
And not only they're just releasing this the right thing to do, but like everything they've released so far is so vague and so like not
It's
specific.
not
that
really
it's like-
indicting anyone.
No,
it's just like Bill Clinton's
oh.
a horrible person. We're all like, well, we kind of knew that.
Exactly, and that's the funny part is
Stephen Hawking.
someone said that. Oh, that's wild.
Yeah.
The memes for that are
Well,
hilarious.
but the thing is it possible? I mean,
flying down the road
Is
in a
it-
wheelchair.
is it possible there were a number of people who visited the island and have had no idea what was going on? Because
no,
Nope.
not visited the island and had no idea. Hang out with him, yes. Go on a flight with him, yes. But go to the island, like that seems a little sus.
What's
the
this
island
island
was
for?
fairly built
What's
out,
he
wasn't
doing
it?
here? Why is he so young? What are you doing hanging
No,
out with all
but-
these boys?
But here's the thing: is I'm sure that he, and of course, I don't know the details because I haven't looked into the case a whole bunch. But is it possible that he only had the kids there every once in a while? But then, let's say certain people, high up people visit.
I'll say from
and-
my experience when I went there were
Oh,
kids there all
gosh.
the time.
Oh gosh.
I wonder. Do you think they'll open it up as a tourist attraction?
Someone is actually. They said that they're working on an Epstein Island like water park, and I
That
was
is
like,
absolutely
please tell me
horrible.
this
Wait,
is satire.
why?
That is
But if
so
it isn't
bad.
satire,
That's
that's
garbage.
horrible.
Babylon B.
That
has
is
to be.
horrible. I hope that's Babylon B.
That's
It wasn't
That's
the
pretty
beat,
bad.
but
So
I hope
bad.
it's satire because that's awful.
yeah.
no. The only
The
reason I
kids, the
think it's
kids coming back, they're like, oh my word.
Did Epstein kill
well,
himself?
the only reason I don't think that either. I don't think he did.
Yeah, some
think
people
so?
think he's still alive.
No,
and
it's
they
too
killed a
convenient.
dupe.
It's way too
Oh,
convenient.
of course Epstein didn't hit. kill
That's
himself.
the thing.
Just
yeah,
like I
it's
don't.
way too convenient.
The Christmas ornaments don't hang themselves. Everyone knows that.
That's true.
Is he a Christmas ornament?
Yeah, look at him.
Why is he a Christmas
I
ornament?
don't know. No, but basically, I think it's just all too convenient. You know what I mean? Like it sets.
It's like
itself
Hillary
Up.
Clinton has 54 friends that have committed suicide.
Well, it's like
That's
it's
not like a
or it's like
usual
the saying
number.
of look
Yeah.
at the most likely scenario, and if it's still in the realm of possibility, that has to be the.
What's that law?
It's-
Michelle or
I forget.
starts
yeah.
with an M.
It's what law that is.
Like
But
Murphy's
basically,
Law?
it's like no matter how insane it has, if it's the most likely scenario given the evidence, you have to assume that's the number one option until proven different. Like,
Oh, that he did not kill himself?
yes.
I see.
Because all the evidence points to him not. You can't just be like, despite all the evidence,
He didn't kill
I'm
himself.
going to believe Hillary Clinton. It's like,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
It's, you have to assume that is the case.
Yeah.
Now, obviously not legal procedure because there's no proof, but like for us, it's like, if you were to ask me, what do I think? I'd be like, yeah, because that's the most likely scenario.
The last time
Mhm.
people believed the Clintons was when they said their daughter was ugly. It's,
Did they say that?
It's been a long time. Yeah, they paraded their daughter out on national television and called her ugly. left,
That is
right, and
tough.
center.
Wait, what
Which
was
is
the
just
context?
horrible
That
childhood
is tough.
trauma.
What was the
Imagine,
context for that?
they like literally. I think she was just on like NBC News or something, and they were like, "Man, she's ugly," and like said that
Why?
on live air.
Why
and her
would you
parents
ever
were
do
like,
that to your
"Yeah,
poor
she
daughter?"
is." And eventually, they like someone told them, like, "You need to stop calling your daughter ugly. She's gonna kill someone," and she probably has by this point. I mean, given her mother and father's track record, but it's just a bummer for Chelsea.
Hillary is scary.
Dude,
She scares me.
She's wild.
She's scary, but at the same time, she's gonna die pretty soon. Like, have you seen when she ran against Trump? She kept having these things where she'd fall over randomly.
Yeah, just
She
pass
fell
out.
over?
Pass- she,
On
like-
stage?
Yes.
The funniest one
They
was she
literally-
was at like a funeral for someone, gets out of the car, and then just like face plants into the back of what do they call him? Like a Secret Service guy.
or something. And they had to like cart her out.
And
in a
someone
van.
took a video on it with their phone, which is the only reason anyone knows this because the news ain't covering that.
It's true.
Yeah.
But it's
Dude, imagine
just,
if that happened with Trump.
oh
what
my
they
word.
do.
Oh, it'd be all over, dude. Yeah, it's crazy. People would be screaming.
Also, I love when Trump was like, "Oh, let's do a cognition test between me and Biden and see who wins. Like, let's see the results."
Yeah.
That's actually wild.
No,
That's pretty good.
Trump. The only reason that Trump didn't beat Biden is because Biden was too stupid to play his game. Trump's
True.
game is like, I'm gonna pull you down and we're gonna trash talk the living snot out of each other.
And the thing
and
is,
Biden's like,
Trump is
what?
like
What?
more of a comedian than a politician. Dude,
Honestly.
the one-liners from Trump
Oh
were
my word.
so
Do
good.
you remember the
you be in jail.
2016? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good thing that someone with the temperament of Donald Trump isn't running the law in this country. Because he'd be in jail.
Because
you'd be in
jail. Tell
And
me
then-
what you...
So funny.
And then the
edits of
sunglasses
that
come
are
down
amazing.
and the cigarette goes in his
cigarette.
mouth.
Yeah,
The
but yeah,
thug life
da-da-da-da.
chain.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
That's
that-
too good.
Trump's
How did
one
we
line.
end up back on politics?
Huh?
I don't know.
How
I
did
feel
we
like
end back on politics.
I feel like a lot of conversation centers around politics.
That's true.
I don't like politics at all.
Nah, it's
It's just
like I care more about the local elections than the national elections. Because realistically, the national elections, the worst thing that can happen is that we go to war.
I was gonna say go to war.
The local elections, the worst thing that can happen is they take your house and everything else that you own. So, which one would you prefer?
I feel like there's this a founder of a company, very smart guy, and he was like, every election cycle, and even with every new political thing that comes up, there are people who commentate on it, and a bunch of people who watch their commentation get really angry, and they're like, meh, 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 I'm angry about all this political stuff going on, and they don't make any change, or at least like the people consuming all the content, they don't make any change. They get really mad and worked up about it. They get distracted and waste their time on it. And then the next new thing comes up, and the only winners are really the news people who cover it and the people who create content around it, getting all these people mad. But
Yeah.
the consumers
That's why
of
we're
it,
here.
the consumers of it are the ones who lose.
Yeah.
And he was like, what if instead you spent all that time working and making money and just ignored all the political stuff that you know for a fact you can't actually change unless you're the Ben Shapiro of the world.
Yeah.
And focus on things that you can change, like helping the people around you.
That's
Like
working
helping
hard
the
in
Jews out of their
business.
tunnels.
jeez.
Well, whatever it is. If
Ninja
you were
Turtles?
in that time. But
Secret tunnel.
Did you see that?
What?
The Ninja Turtles meme,
Oh
and
my
it was
word.
like all the Ninja Turtles, and they had like
The
the Jew
yarmulkes,
hats
yeah.
and then the beards, and it was so bad. Sorry.
No, this is what I mean. Like 2024 has been unbelievably weird this whole year, and it's been.
wait,
it's
so
been
what's the
12
tunnel
days.
thing?
You haven't seen this?
Well,
Oh,
I
you haven't
heard
seen
that
this?
tunnels have been dug in
So
Israel.
like, I don't know
No, not
how
in
they
Israel. This
discovered
is-
it. No,
I don't
in
know
New York
either.
City. I don't know how they discovered it. I think the first clip I think that I saw was there's this Jewish guy climbing out of like a sewer gutter.
Yeah.
Like he's just
Like out of a
he's
sawn
just
open
welded
sewer gutter.
like a square out of it, pulls it out, and then just emerges in the middle of New York City and just thinks no one's gonna notice. I mean, it's New York City. Like random
And it's
things
not
happen
just,
all
like,
the
a
time.
Jewish guy,
but
like, he's just ethnically Jewish. Like he's full.
oh yeah,
Brim.
it's not like he's disguising it.
No.
He just pops out, and everyone's like, "Where the heck did you come from?" And then they just
Right.
keep coming.
How much of it this is confirmed?
I have no idea, so it could all be faked. But it's very
Sure.
weird to look at.
Yeah. Hold up. We gotta. Annoyingly, the camera has stopped recording again.
Through the mountains.
I mean, it's for gay losers.
Yeah. yeah. That's right. All you anime
So,
fans.
The only
There-
people I know who watch anime are not people I want to emulate.
Okay, but
Fair.
there is a show called Death Note, and it's very good.
All right, you
an
have just
anime
been
show.
added to that list.
Oh no.
So there's anime of like the squeaky sounding girls, and then like the and then
You know
the
far too
guys
much
who are,
about
like,
this topic.
Well, like there's the anime of the greasy hair like nerdy guy who lives in his mom's basement, right? There's that. But then there's also the anime of a really well-made, like well-written story anime. It's a huge,
It's still anime, though.
genre. The thing is, anime.
It's still anime,
the-
though.
Anime is the only thing that it actually is cartoon made in Japan, right?
Yeah, that already crosses off my list.
It's the thing is the content
childish style of it all.
of some of them. Some of them are like super sick. The Spider-Man movie
Yeah, no, but the style is childish.
of like style is in
Like
the
the way
animation
they
style.
animate it. Yeah.
But also the animation styles range pretty wide. Like in the Spider-Man movie with all the different styles of animation, that's about how wide the animation style is for anime. There's like a general type, but Death Note was super sick. I feel like if y'all watched it, you would actually enjoy it.
It's
'Cause
also
it-
the fact I generally just rarely enjoy watching things that I can't, or watching or listening to things that I don't understand to some degree. And like I listen to Latin music and French music sometimes because
Oh, yeah.
I know some Spanish and I know some
Strome.
French.
Yeah.
But yeah,
The thing is, I personally like the
Just
sub
remember
version. Dude,
yellow
that song's
mile.
fire. The trumpet.
Formidable.
Dude, we gotta play it.
Formidable.
you
But,
know what my
we
favorite
get
part was
copyrighted
where your
strikes.
dad walked
yeah,
into
we
the
can't.
back of the office. He's like, "You don't know freaking French. What are you doing?"
Yeah.
But
I still think anime is for gay losers. So.
I don't know. I feel like if this show had a comment section, then the comment section, some of them would
It'd be divided.
It'd be divided, yeah.
Because there's many people. I feel like if you get into it, then you're very defensive, and you say, and I'm not saying you're specifically wrong for saying this, but you say exactly what you're saying. Of there's many styles, there's many different. There's some with actually good story
Yeah, there's
writing.
two kinds of defensive. There's like people who are
It's all
defensive
good,
because
yeah.
they're like
They are
actually
the
I kind
weebs.
of enjoy this, or there's people who are defensive because they are the gay nerds, and it's like they want to pretend they're not gay nerds, but they just are, and there's nothing they can do about it.
So which one are you?
I have. I feel like. Well, I'm interested. Have either of y'all seen anime?
No.
Like watched an anime show?
I have seen one movie because I went to a movie night and they didn't tell me they were going to watch an anime movie, and I watched most of it.
Gay.
Oh, but
Yeah.
that's like a anime movie.
Wild Time. No, it was like one of those. It's like a popular director. I forget which one, but anyway. Yeah, it was like a series. No, I wish.
Yeah.
Oppenheimer as
It's
an
like-
anime.
It's like, let's say you live in Canada and you've never heard about much about Texas, or been to Texas, and you say you hate Texas, but then the thing is you've never been there.
But that's invalid because Canada's gay.
Or like,
Good
let's say you
point.
live in like
Canada
Canada,
is
is the
anime.
same thing. Like
no,
you've never been
but
there.
I think.
But
So
then
I
there's,
have
like-
seen. I have seen a couple.
but then there's Texas
like
City
other
and
episodes,
country and-
or like my sisters have watched a lot. I haven't watched any. Sisters have watched a lot, and I've in passing
Oh, I
seen
see.
little clips and bits. Not very interested. I had a friend back when I worked at a Mexican restaurant up north that he was really into it, and now he's bi. So what does that tell you?
Dude, I have a
And-
buddy
Please
who watched
explain.
over 100
Yeah, so that's gay.
anime, 100 animes, just like multiple seasons and episodes, and
How many
every single
boyfriends
one.
does he have? Not kidding. Not.
No, but he's seen.
Which
over
species of
100.
gay is he?
Oh jeez. No, I mean fair. There's definitely people I know who I would like, who I'm friends with who watch it. I just never understand why people get into it, because even if like the storyline is fairly good, the voicing to me just seems goofy. The language seems goofy.
Oh,
the art style
so,
often seems goofy.
I saw it was an interview with somebody from Japan, and she was talking about the difference between how Japanese people actually talk versus the cartoon, and she said even she like hates the anime style
They
voices.
hate it, but a lot of them start to talk like it, dude.
Really?
Yes, if you watch like clips online, and I know some of them are trying to,
Yeah.
but clips online of like all the like weird, and I just see this from being on Twitter so much for work, but like all the weird like TikTok try to be people, or like Reel try to be people over in Asia. A
Oh.
lot of them talk like
yeah,
that.
like the
A lot of 'em-
trend where you like, fire, good.
Yes. Yeah, where
Hmm.
they talk like weird.
What is
choppy
that trend?
English, but they try. I have no
I
idea.
am AI. What is it?
Yeah, that sounds like
Weird.
I am AI or something like that, and it's like a weird choppy. But anyway, it's just that kind of thing of like. Yeah, but you're right. Even if they don't like it, I mean, that just gives me more license not to like it.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
I'm curious. This reminds me of the guy on the Joe Rogan Experience who was talking
Yeah.
about portobello mushrooms, and he said, have y'all seen the clip where he's
No.
like, because this topic poses a great threat to my life or something like that, I will
Oh wait, yeah, I think I have
respectfully
seen this
refuse to answer this.
Oh,
And
yeah.
he just stops and stares at him. And then Joe's like, no, you couldn't possibly be killed over portobello mushrooms. He's like, what? Like, is there some secret portobello mushroom society? And the guy's just staring at him. And Joe's like, okay. So he's just staring at me with a serious face. So I'm
That
just going to
is
respectfully
wild.
move on. Have y'all not seen this?
No.
I
It was
think I
the-
have. I think I have.
Oh, it was the funniest clip
I
ever.
couldn't tell if the guy was joking or not.
That's what I'm
The thing is,
curious about.
Based on
I think
like,
he was
the
on
context leading up
portobello
to it.
mushrooms is what happened.
Well, the portobello, like
Yeah,
I think
portobello
I
mushrooms
had a
are just like
portobello mushroom
aren't
the
they-
other day.
They have those
They're
in
not-
restaurants, right? They're not.
Yeah,
at
there's
all,
regular mushroom, but he was
Yeah.
like, there's
The
a certain
portobello-
compound
the
that I can't talk
portobello
about.
Mushroom mafia is after him.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
you
they're
just gotta
gonna
watch
take
his
him out.
language.
Yeah, it cracked me up.
That's funny.
I love how how Joe he went from Fear Factor to biggest podcaster in the world, bow hunter, UFC commentator, who talks about apes, gorillas, and DMT all day.
He just does what he likes,
Well, I
And
think that is-
everybody
and that
loves
has
it.
made him
yes,
hundreds
he's
of
just
millions of
genuine.
dollars.
He's
So
just genuine, yeah.
that's like
Yeah.
a nice thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of gay losers, there was a guy who just built the entire universe in Minecraft.
The entire
How?
universe, or
Yeah, he built like an entire like a black hole and a bunch of planets and
How
things. I
on
don't know.
earth? That is wild.
But
Wow.
anyway,
I
He
see
is a
there
gay
was a
loser.
team
'cause
that
if you spend like, if you play some Minecraft, okay, not the end of the world. You build an entire freaking universe in Minecraft, get a life and a job.
That's
so I saw they had teams of people in Minecraft building a 1-to-1 scale
Yeah.
of the entire Earth
Also,
How
like,
and every
so
city.
why? What?
Yeah, that's
what?
my question.
What is there productive about that? If I wanted to see a 1-to-1 scale of the Earth, you know where I'd go?
Google Maps.
Yep, not Minecraft. There is
Well-
no useful.
So what's
anything about
funny
this.
is there are quite a few public schools who've implemented Minecraft in their education.
That is wild.
Did you see the meme
Yeah,
that was
they-
like in 1920 children were banned from the mines. In 2020 the most popular game in the world was Minecraft. Children yearn for the mines.
Yeah, that was so good. Children yearn.
You
for
want to
the
play
mine.
Minecraft? I think that for every hour that you play Minecraft, you have to work 1 hour in the mines. That seems pretty reasonable.
Seems like a good rule to me.
Dude,
No.
the thing is, like, what if you get home from school and you do like a 12-hour all-nighter with the bros, and then you have to do another 12 hours in the actual mines?
Yes, another 12 hours with the bros. You all meet together.
That's fair.
You go down in a mine
I think
shaft.
that make
you work
I
for
think
12
that make
hours.
being in the mines more bearable.
Yeah, it'd be
Yeah.
make being in the mines more bearable. It would also make people have more respect for Minecraft because they'd be like, look,
So while you're
this
a
is how you
Minecrafter,
actually mine things.
but I feel like the harsh reality
But-
of like real mining sucking.
Oh yeah, no.
Wouldn't
like,
you
a lot
have
of people
to
die
apply the
during
same
mining.
logic to like Call of Duty?
Huh?
Go in a combat zone, 4
Yeah.
hours
Yeah.
on
I'm
COD,
down.
4
Every
hour
hour you
deployment.
play
down.
Call of Duty, you also have to go to Afghanistan.
Wait, we're not in Afghanistan anymore.
No,
There's
but
no
we're
way.
still going
Iraq.
back to
Yeah,
Afghanistan
I
and shooting
guarantee
people.
that if you walked around in Afghanistan for long enough, you'd find a war.
So, do you?
Especially if you're in like full combat uniform
Yeah.
with like multiple
You'd
weapons
get
on your
shot
back.
at.
I'm
Guaranteed.
curious.
Yeah.
What do you think caused such a bad withdrawal from Afghanistan?
Such a what?
A bad withdrawal from Afghanistan.
Stupid leadership and terrible. Well, America can be summed up in one word.
Pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have no idea why they suddenly decided to pull out so quickly. That was a very
So,
odd decision, like just randomly.
Yeah, and I
think we're
think it comes with just like people who are disinterested in actually making a great country, because it's like
But why are we in Afghanistan in the first place?
no, that's fair. But if since we were, why was it so bad? Such a bad like exit.
Yeah.
It's like I think it's
Did
people
you see
disinterested
women
in
were
actually.
like throwing their babies at planes hoping they would stick?
Mm-hmm.
It's a horrible decision. And
Very
a
sad.
very bad tactic for
Very sad.
exporting.
the plane
children.
was like closed, and they threw
Yeah.
the baby out the
They
plane.
were just like throwing babies at the plane.
Weird,
Very odd.
huh?
And honestly, not
So
a good
they'd-
tactic if you're trying to get your kid to a new life.
No.
Because he's going to freeze or he's going to fall off the airplane.
Hmm.
I'll probably just get like splattered right. As
I
he hits the
saw
plane.
I saw a clip
Yeah.
of the plane trying to taxi out to the runway,
Yeah.
and there were
like, holding
people,
onto the wheels
yeah,
and
holding
crap.
onto the wheels, and like a horde of people.
That's not a bad decision
In front of the
because the
plane.
wheels like fold up into the plane
Retract.
and you could just sit there.
I guess so.
It's true, but then like when they unfold from the airplane, you're still hundreds of feet in the air.
Yeah, but I mean, it's better than being in Afghanistan. So you got to weigh
Dying in America versus
you got to
living
weigh
in
the pros and
against-
cons here.
That's fair.
people.
That's fair.
Hmm. Do you think it was a good idea? Like, let's say we pulled out of Afghanistan with no hiccups. Do you think it
I
would
think
have
it
been
was
a good
great.
idea
We
to
should have
stay?
pulled out of Afghanistan a long time ago,
Hmm.
but not in the way that we did.
Yeah.
We just like left a giant power vacuum for ISIS is what we did.
Mm.
Or whatever.
Also, I
something
heard
like
we
that.
left a lot of high-tech military.
Yeah, we left like $80 billion
supplies.
worth of military
somewhere
equipment
around
over
there.
there, which
On another note, why is the U.S. $34 trillion in debt?
Yeah.
We spend our
Shockingly.
money so wisely.
Yes. The fact that if I were to miss my tax amount by $2, I would get hounded to death. But the United States just misplaced $80 billion worth of military equipment in Afghanistan. No one bats an eye.
No,
Coincidence?
Matt and
I think not.
I think not.
I
I'm
think-
curious. We
Not
should
at
get
all.
back to some conspiracy theories.
I'm so down.
Let's do it, baby.
I don't have one.
Okay,
I'm just
Michelle
curious. I wanna hear
Obama is a
one, though.
man.
Okay. I
Well, that's not a
I heard this
conspiracy,
theory.
that's a
Okay, that's
I
fair.
heard this
fair.
theory.
Okay,
You
okay,
know,
okay.
on toothpaste,
Yep.
how on the
I
bottom
don't
of
know
it.
what you mean by on toothpaste. Like
a
toothbrush?
No,
tube.
like on the
Tube.
toothpaste tube.
Yeah.
On the
Oh, yeah,
bottom
yeah.
of it, they have a little like square, and it's like either yellow square, a green
red
square, or like red square, or
Yeah,
black
what is
one.
that?
Okay, so
Which
here,
kind of
this is
cancer
a
it
theory.
causes?
Is for the elites.
Mm.
So the elites, when they see the toothpaste, green means it's healthy and all natural. And the thing is, like, it could be the same tube of toothpaste, same brand, everything, but the only difference is the color. Green means it's safe and all natural. Red means that.
It gives you cancer. immediately.
Wait. Oh, the other one's blue. Okay, blue means that it's still safe, but it's not natural, but like you can still do it.
Yeah.
Red means there's like a little bit of poison in it, but
Well, this
there's some
explains
side effects.
why my teeth look so bad. I keep brushing with
It's
red.
not just for teeth; it's for the elites. No, but then black
The-
means
you
that it's
have-
all bad. Like something bad is gonna
Wait,
happen.
are there black squares on some of them?
Well, some of them have blacks, and then the red square is like death, and as well,
That's
like red
wild.
for blood. But then like green is all natural.
Do you have any idea what those actually mean?
No, I have no
Okay,
idea.
but I bet that's it. Then I bet that's it.
Yeah, I guarantee Klaus Schwab only buys green toothpaste.
Only green toothpaste.
Klaus Schwab? What?
Klaus Schwab.
Klaus
Klaus Schwab.
Yeah.
Who's that?
I don't know why the world
Klaus
hasn't learned its
Schwab.
lesson, because the last time a German man said
Ran everything.
everyone bow to me and my ideas, the world didn't love it.
Wait, so what's Klaus Schwab's deal? I've never heard of this person.
I'd like to believe you, but I have seen your search history.
Wait, Klaus Schwab?
Who has Klaus? He's
Wait,
this
is
like
Klaus? Rich Jew.
Austrian German something in there, and he's in charge of the World Economic Forum, and also really bad person.
And he invests in lots of terrible things.
Yes.
Huh.
And he would like us to all eat bugs, and live in 15-minute cities and get the vaccines from Bill Gates.
Mhm.
So anyway, the thing is with all of these like people who want to rule the world, they're like 80. So surely, like you don't have that much long.
They either
or
have to
left.
be hyper efficient or just pass it down to the next
'Cause, like,
generation.
Yeah, but at
Yeah.
the same time, like if I were vying for enormous amounts of power where I could rule the world, I would probably want that for like 30, 50 years. They
Yeah.
seem to want it for like maybe 10.
Because if they get imprisoned or suspected of anything, they're going to die soon anyway.
Yeah. Yep.
That's a good point. It's like they don't have much
it's more
time
of a
left
protective
anyway.
measure then maybe.
Hmm.
I don't know. You got any
So-
other conspiracy theories about other toothbrushes? Maybe? Deodorant?
Not deodorant, but I did see it costs the president slightly less than $2,000 per minute to travel, depending on how they're traveling. So, like,
Wow.
getting the president from the White
Because
House
gas prices are so high.
to the it's like a UN meetings area. It's usually like an hour drive, but it's shorter for the president. They will take a motorcade to. Well, actually, sometimes the helicopter is actually at the White House, so they'll take a helicopter from there, and it's that helicopter plus 4 others. So that's actually the cheaper part. But then they'll fly to the Boeing 747 or
Yeah.
737, which is totally tricked out. It's extremely expensive because it's so huge.
Oh, yeah, it's Air Force One.
It's Air Force One.
Yeah.
I forget how much it costs per hour of flight time, but it's
You know,
extremely
it'd be kind
high.
of funny.
But then the
is if we
motorcade
had
is
a
like
president who like randomly would just take a motorcycle to these things, like would
Keanu
just not
Reeves is
tell
That would actually be
would not tell
fantastic.
Secret Service and then just get on his
Just
motorcycle and
leave
just
and go.
book
Yeah.
it to gets pulled over. Some policeman's like, "Sir, do you realize how fast you were going?" He's like, "I'm the president of the United States. I don't care." Policeman's
like
like,
that's
"That's
what
a good
Keanu
point,
would
sir.
do.
Fair enough. Have a good day."
Yeah, good point.
Keanu wouldn't
Reeves
even
for
need
president,
Secret
baby.
Service.
Keanu Reeves 2024.
Yeah.
He could take care of himself.
Yeah.
He just shoots.
If you
Yeah.
shot him,
Motorbike.
he'd matrix it.
Dude, on
Stop him.
the motorcycle. On the motorcycle. He'd be like doing the backward fly thing on the motorcycle.
No, you
Yeah.
can't. You can't shoot Keanu Reeves. It's not possible.
It's true.
Well, I think that's it. I mean,
Yeah, I'm
you
ready
got
for
any random
steaks.
facts for us?
Oh, yeah. What's the random fact?
Oh, random fact. I don't know if I told y'all this, but it's the spot in Yellowstone where you can't get convicted of murder.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I told y'all about this. in
Yeah,
the
we're like
office, right?
4 states converge.
Yeah. So, well, it's
I plan on proposing there. Unrelated.
Yellowstone is
Really?
its own
I
jurisdiction
was gonna say,
or
that's awesome.
something. It's its own area within Wyoming, but there's I believe 20 or 50 square mile strip that crosses over into Idaho, and it's completely uninhabited, but it's in a different state,
I mean, it's
so it's
probably
also a
inhabited
different
by,
jurisdiction.
like, cows or something.
Uninhabited by any humans.
Okay.
So if somebody got murdered there, then according to common law procedure, you have to put together a jury of your peers, which are the people from the same jurisdiction. But
There's no
there
jurisdiction.
aren't. There's
So I say
there's
they
nobody
have like
for
a
form a
trial
jury.
of the cows. So the cows all get together,
The cows
and then,
decide.
And then they
stop-
see
and
who
then
says
you put
moo.
like you put like grass on one side and hay on the other. And the grass is he dies, and the hay is he lives. And then you just let in
That
like
could be the
4
wildest
cows.
like murder mystery thing ever. Is like
You
we
let in
have
like
to
you
find
let
a
in
way
like 5 cows,
to make
and
the
then
cows
you just
convict
see
him.
who goes. If 3 cows go to the hay, guy's fine, totally good. He can walk free. But if they go to the grass, the end. Sorry, bro.
So, but like, what if the cows are shown a video of the guy committing the murder, a full confession, everything?
They can do that before they give him the choice of hay or grass.
But then they go to wait, what is it? The hay is not
the
guilty.
hay is not guilty.
So they all go to the hay.
They just like
Then-
the guy. Maybe he gave them like a bunch of oats.
Maybe he's the one who harvested the hay.
He harvested the hay, and so he like has insider trading.
I feel like he'd be more likely to be convicted if he killed a cow rather than killing another person.
Yeah, no. If he killed a cow, everyone's going to the grass.
Yeah.
They're like,
Dude.
we see you.
So I did hear of
We know you.
there was another case where somebody killed illegally hunted and killed, I believe it was an elk in
Cameron
that
Haines?
same area. Dude, honestly, it could have been. No, but it was back in like the early 2000s, and
Still could have been
Um,
Cameron Haines.
it could have been, but they some judge ruled that the case could be tried in a nearby court, and then they started the trial, and then a higher judge ruled that it was unlawful for the case to be tried at all, and they were gonna decide that he was guilty because he was, and there was evidence for it, but because it was unlawful to try him because it was in that little strip, he got away free,
Nice.
and there
That's a
were
good,
no
that's a good deal.
consequences.
Like just commit
So-
murder in the right place. And
So
I was gonna say,
then,
or
well, that's
just
the
hunt in the right
question:
place,
is
just
if
camp
it
out.
was murder, it would be like definitely way more high profile, but also there's precedent for throwing the case out altogether because that's what the law stipulates.
you could do like a mass murder though.
That's
Like
actually
think of that.
crazy.
Like if you had like you set it up so it was like a campsite there, and then
That'd
you
be
just
insane.
bombed it.
Just
You
to
couldn't
test
be
the waters.
prosecuted.
see what would
but what
happen
if
legally.
you were standing outside of the zone? When
No, you were
when
standing
bombed?
inside the zone and
Inside
you
the
called
zone,
the
yeah.
airstrike,
Yeah.
and then
You're
your
just
plane
in a
was
safe
flying
distance away.
over the zone
You're like Tony Stark.
perfectly.
outside
The
the
thing is,
blast
I feel like everything would have to take place in there
Yeah.
because what about all the prep? Like, what is it? Not collusion, but like the premeditated
That's
murder.
premeditated, yeah, like-
Yeah, the
murder.
premeditated part of it.
Maybe you
of
just live
planning
there.
everything out.
But see, you could say the same thing for hunting though, right? He was intending to go kill something.
Well, maybe he didn't intend to kill it there.
Oh.
Maybe
But
you
also,
like,
it's like where the crime occurs. It's almost like everywhere else is lit up, but then you go into the spot, and like once the crime occurs there, they can only look at where it's lit up, but that part's just a strip of unknowingness. Like they
Wow.
they aren't even allowed to.
no man's land.
At least as far as I know, that's what Wikipedia says.
Yeah, and
what it sounds
Wikipedia
like.
is the source of all great knowledge.
It's true.
My random fact is that a crayon can actually burn for 30 minutes. If you
It's
just set a
impressive.
crayon on fire.
serious?
Yeah, and like if you need like an emergency situation, because they're made of wax,
Yeah,
so like a crayon could burn for 30 minutes.
that's actually.
Could I draw like a cool little drawing with
You
a
could
candle?
probably, I mean, if you drew it,
Dude, we
on
should try
paper.
that. We should try like drawing just using a lot of crayon and letting it on fire, you can make such cool designs.
You could,
Like on fire.
but you can't do it on paper, because the paper. will
No,
burn.
on paper. But what if you did it on like
Metal.
marble
I don't
or
know.
metal or concrete?
Marble, I feel like wouldn't burn. You'd have
Maybe
to
not
do
marble.
like.
But like
I
you
don't
just
know.
put enough
Do you
crayon.
do you
just
think it
put
would
enough
work
crayon.
if you tried to propose with fire? You like write out "Will you marry me"?
Oh, that'd be
Michael
sick.
Scott tried it, but
Yeah, he was pouring it in the parking lot. He's like, I have it all over my pants. Did they?
Can
he
you
was
get
doing
more
it
gas
next
and a
to
lighter?
cars?
I'm gonna light this whole parking lot on fire as a sign of my love towards Holly.
Wasn't Pam like, yeah, could you just give me the match? And then she starts going, and Michael's like, oh, Pam, no, you have to light over here. And she's like, I'll be back, and goes and
She's
throws
like,
it
no,
away
he's
in the
like, can you
office.
hold the can for me? I gotta go get my matches. And she's like, yeah, let me take that for you. And then like starts running inside, and she's like, Michael, I don't think this is a great idea.
Yeah.
Which really, spoil sport. Let the man have his fun. Just move your car.
I agree.
And then all the rest of
Honestly.
the cars blow up.
Nah, they wouldn't blow
Actually,
up. They'll just
How
catch
much
on
more
fire.
fantastic would that be as a proposal? It's
I'm-
like,
I'm curious.
$20,000.
I have so much money. I just burned all of my employees' cars to propose to you. That's a legendary move.
And it wasn't like that wasn't even the plan. That was just incidental, and I don't care.
Yeah, baller.
It wasn't necessary. I just don't
Ballin',
care. 'cause I'm
baby.
that rich.
Speaking of balling, I'm ready to ball on some steak.
Let's do it.
Dude, I'm ready
excited.
to ball on some steak too.
Anywhere you would like people to follow you? All 3 viewers.
Um,
How about that LinkedIn, dog?
dude, my LinkedIn is popping. I have
Luke
over
Turner on
1,000
LinkedIn.
followers
Luke
on
Turner on
LinkedIn.
You have
he just-
1,000 followers on LinkedIn.
I do.
Is that from all the nurses?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many nurses?
I used to be a
you
nurse
pulling?
recruiter.
Oh, there
Yeah,
we
let's
go.
clarify. Luke doesn't just go to hospitals and flirt with nurses.
I was gonna say
He's married.
Or
He's
either
married.
that
He's
or
taking
I've
ladies.
been hospitalized so much.
That would probably be my dilemma, but yeah.
Yeah.
Anybody that should follow you?
Whatever they want.
Redballoon.org.
Go
I'm
to
not too
Twitter.
worried. Twitter.
He's big active.
Twitter's fine.
I'm also
So
active
what is what's your Twitter?
at Jackson W. Crapooch.
It's just Asher Sage Dixon. My full name.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Fun
middle name
times.
included.
Yes, sir, sir.
Subscribe, like, tell us if you like this in the comments section. See ya. We're done. Boom, baby. The end.